Great minds think alike. Yeah.
Heavy Grove, your automobile lights are off.
Very
I can tell the way she was responding. She doesn't know me. And so I almost looked at my watch to see, I wonder how long this is going to be. Then I thought about, what can I test?
I bet. Should have played around with it.
I know.
They don't look the same. And I didn't think of that. I would have like scared us.
I obviously that's what I was doing.
I have no idea.
I put the tablecloths there, but I like the Princeton.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're Gina's, since I see so many. I send out to South Hey, I got mine right here. I'm like having a hot flash right now. I know, I really am like
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to introduce the Princeton High School Spirit Week Court of 2021. These court members were chosen by their classmates to represent them during this week's Old But Gold festivities. The freshman attendants are Ira Goodale. Ira is the daughter of Trent and Janelle Goodale. Evan Driscoll. Evan is the son of Gary and Courtney Driscoll. Ladies and gentlemen, Ira Goodale and Evan Driscoll. Our sophomore attendants tonight, Sadie Thornton and Carson Etheridge. Sadie is the daughter of Phil and Marie Thornton. Carson is the son of Scott and Andrea Etheridge. Ladies and gentlemen, Sadie Thornton and Carson Etheridge. Our junior attendants tonight, Maya Garden and Reed Oley. Maya is the daughter of Brandon and Martha Garden. Reed is the son of JD and Shelley Oley. Ladies and gentlemen, juniors, Maya Garden and Reed Oley. And now our senior attendants, Kylie Wright and Tyler Gibson. Kylie is the daughter of Todd and Joanne Wright. Tyler is the son of Todd and Joanne Gibson. Ladies and gentlemen, Kylie Wright and Tyler Gibson. Our second senior attendants, Olivia Eichen and Grant Foes. Olivia is the daughter of Joe and Kelly Eichen. Grant is the son of Dan and Bridget Foes. Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Eichen and Grant Foes. Our third set of senior attendants, Addison Grove and Rhonda Rose. Addison is the daughter of Jeffrey and Wendy Grove. Rhonda is the son of Stacy Lund, R.K. Lund, and Robbie Walls. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors, Addison Grove and Rhonda Walls. Our fourth set of senior attendants tonight, Abigail Pence and Jamie Reinhardt. Abigail is the daughter of Patrick Pence and Jamie Debo. Jamie is the son of John and Tina Reinhardt. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors, Abigail Pence and Jamie Reinhardt. Our fifth set of senior attendants tonight, Grace Maley and Cody Mungan. Grace is the daughter of Michael and Joan May. Cody is the son of Mark and Michelle Mungan. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors, Grace May and Cody Mungan. Our sixth set of senior attendants, Alexis Alt and Nolan Scott. Alexis is the daughter of Kevin and M. Alt. Nolan is the son of Jeff and Becky Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors, Alexis Alt and Nolan Scott. Now let's give a spirited round of applause to our 2021 Spirit Week King Grant Foes. And let's do the same for our 2021 Spirit Week Queen, Kelly Wright. Congratulations to all of our 2021 PHS Spirit Week court members on your nominations and contributions to the spirit of PHS. Go Tigers!
That's all you need. They're our heroes. tight end would be awesome.
How you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Bryant Field your Princeton High School Marching Tigers. They are led to the field tonight by PHS drum majors Alexis Alt and Jack Davis. Tiger fans, stand and show your blue and white pride as the PHS band plays Princeton royalty, and let's win this game. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand.
Princeton Tiger football is on the air tonight from Bryant Field on the campus of Princeton High School. It's the undefeated Princeton Tigers taking on the Fulton Steamers, but we're going to break away here for our national anthem. And welcome back. I'm Norm Vandermoon, and Dave Shepard will be joining me tonight. Steve Morton and Steve Gray on the cameras doing the production work. And as we mentioned just before the anthem, 2 undefeated teams here tonight, Dave. And if you could, give us a little info on the Fulton Steamers.
Well, the Fulton Steamers are coached by Pat Lohr's, great coach. He's always got a great program over there in Fulton. And they come in tonight 3-0. They're being led by their quarterback, Connor Barnett, the wide receiver, Brock Mason, 2 good running backs, and Ethan Rash and Keegan Van Kampen. And I'll tell you, they started off the year against Orion. They beat them 45-14. Then they took on Riverdale, beat them 49-6. They beat Morrison 56-0, and then they beat Monmouth Roseville 49-6. Enrollment is 292. They're averaging over 49 points a game, while giving up an average of 6.5 points a game. But unfortunately for our conference, next year Fulton will be leaving us and going up to the NUIC conference, which is the Northwest Upstate Illini Conference, and that's like, I would say we're 1 and 2 in the state for our conferences in football, and you could pick either one, but they're both pretty tough to be in.
Absolutely. The Steamers, of course, as you mentioned, their enrollment down under 300, and so thinking, perhaps the time is to move to another conference, but as you mentioned, they're still going to be playing some great teams. As for the Tigers, they are 5-0. They are ranked 2nd in last week's 3A poll, behind Williamsville, last year's defending champion. Others in the top 5 include Wilmington, 3rd at 5-0, Monticello, a former state champion of recent vintage. They are 5-0 and ranked 4th, and Byron is rated 5th at 4-1. The Tigers are coached by Ryan Pearson. The enrollment at PHS is 517, so 200 plus over Fulton in that regard. The Tigers opened the season by beating Lena Winslow 35-14. They beat Hall 49-3, beat Kewanee 43-7, beat Orion 48-7, and last week in a really big game, the Tigers answered the call and they beat Sterling Newman in Sterling 28-14. The Tigers are averaging just over 40 points per game while giving up 9 points per game. Last week against Newman, Tyler Gibson had a great game, and he passed for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also ran for another touchdown. And as far as leaders for the Tigers, Rondé Worrells has 482 yards this season and 9 touchdowns. We are not far from getting this one underway, Dave.
Yeah, Princeton's going to end up kicking off. Fulton is going to be receiving the ball.
Temperatures are in the low to mid 50s. It is sunny, very sunny, as we can testify to here in the booth, and the winds are at about 10 miles per hour.
And I did fail to mention that the Steamers are ranked 3rd in state in Class 2A, so they're a state-ranked team also. So.
All right, Jamie Reinhardt is getting set to kick off, and he'll be kicking towards Central Street. And this is a short kick, and the Steamers field it at about their own 20. And a nice return out over the 30-yard line. Ethan Rash with that return. Well, Dave, back in the day when you and I were doing Bureau Valley football and the Storm had some really good teams, seemed like many a year that the Fulton Steamers broke the Storm's heart.
Well, I tell you, year after year, we'd come in and have a chance to make the playoffs. All we had to do was beat Fulton at the end of the year, and we just couldn't seem to get it done.
All right, so the Steamers have it 1st and 10 at their own 33. Shotgun formation, man in motion, and it's a pass play. A man is open, and hauling that one in for a big gain is Brock Mason, who had a touchdown catch last week.
That was just a nice throw there by their quarterback, Connor Barnett, and just right in stride, caught number 2 Brock Mason, and just a nice throw and catch there, right down the sideline.
1st and 10 at the 32. So, that's one thing we've watched Pat Lohr coach through the years. He's not afraid to pull a, kind of a play out of the grab bag. He doesn't necessarily go with the conventional call. He's very good at surprising teams. Now this time Barnett goes under center, and the handoff goes wide to the left, and taking that carry is Kyler Pessman for short yardage.
Yeah, just a little end around. You talk about Pat Lohr's, and he's going to mix it up a little bit. He doesn't necessarily have to go with the run all the time. He's had some really good athletes over at Fulton.
And we'll call it a 4-yard gain for Pessman, so a little better than what I thought, as Barnett is in the shotgun. And Barnett looking to throw. He has a man open, and the pass is complete. Once again, it is Mason, and he is close to a first down.
Yeah, they're going to stop it. They're going to give him a first down on that. Again, going to Mason, number 2, his primary receiver, and nothing fancy there, Norm. Just a nice little pass out on the flat. Going to get to move the chains for Fulton.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I bet if you said that Fulton has made the playoffs 10 of the last 12 years, you probably wouldn't be far off.
I think you're absolutely correct.
Barnett in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 22 of Princeton for the Steamers. And this time on the carry, that's Ethan Rash, and he rumbles forward inside the 20.
Well, the Tigers had him stopped there for a second. He ran into a big pile, and he bounced off of it and came around it. Ended up getting 3 yards on the play where it looked like the Tigers had him stopped.
Rash is listed at 5'7", 190 pounds. 2nd down and 7 for the Steamers. Barnett awaits the snap, man in motion, and they give it to the man in motion. And he gets around the edge. Inside the 15-yard line goes Jacob Jones.
I'll tell you what, he had a great lead block there by Rash. Rash was out in front of him and give him some space to turn that right up the field.
So give him 5 on the gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Steamers. Of course, definitely in 4-down territory. 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score. Barnett under center. And this is Rash once again. And he powers his way inside the 10-yard line for yet another Fulton first down.
I'll tell you, Fulton's line's doing a really nice job of opening up a couple holes, and they're doing a nice job of I guess Coach Lowers is actually doing a great job of getting rid of the ball when they do pass it. He's not sitting him back in the pocket for very long.
Yeah, Fulton has just mixed up their plays beautifully. Now this time Barnett operates out of the shotgun. 1st and goal at the 8 for the Steamers. Barnett back to throw. He's chased, has to get rid of it, and he has a man. Is that a touchdown? It is indeed. Jacob Jones hauling it in just beyond the goal line, and Fulton scores first on an 8-yard touchdown pass. Barnett to Jones with 9:35 to go in the first period.
Number 6,
Andy Canage in for the extra point attempt. Soccer style kicker. And the boot is on the way, and it is good by plenty. So the Steamers open up with a 7-0 lead, and really, Dave, a perfectly executed drive.
Yeah, definitely. Princeton's going to have to do a little work on the defensive side of it. I'm sure they're talking about it right now, but now Fulton's going to see what the Princeton offense is all about.
In the all-time series between these teams, Fulton actually holds a 3-2 advantage, and there was an article in the paper about how when these kids were in JFL that Fulton used to beat Princeton. So, granted, we're talking years later, but It certainly is interesting. I couldn't help notice the fact of how badly Fulton beat Morrison, wasn't it? I know you gave that score, but 56-0, I do believe. And we know that Morrison has a fine program.
56-0.
Wow. All right, so Andy Canage will kick off. Tegan Davis is the deepest of the Tiger returnmen. Canage, the kicker, listed at 5'6", 130, but boy, he's got a good leg. And the kick is on the way, and it will be Tegan Davis at the 5. And now it's a reverse by the Tigers. It's Cale Davis, and he's in a lot of trouble, being chased.
Oh, great block.
And he gets away.
By his brother.
However, this one's coming back. You saw the flag, Dave. So did I. So did the fans. So the Tigers are not going to have very good opening field position.
Yeah, they ran the reverse, and unfortunately, when his brother came back to block, I think he's going to get a block in the back.
Well, we'll wait for this one to be marched off. There are some other games going on in the area. A big one tomorrow as St. Bede takes on Orion. Bruins with a chance. They're 4-1. They have a chance to finish with 5 wins for the first time in a long time. Wow. We said this penalty was going to put the Tigers in bad field position. It's going to be inside the 10.
Yeah, around the 9-yard line.
Balls at the 9-yard line where Princeton will start 1st and 10.
Tyler Gibson gets under center. And Rondé Worrells goes off right guard. Short gain for Rondé. Give him 3 or 4. Bring up 2nd down and 6.
2nd down and 6, Princeton.
Tigers no huddle. Gibson takes the snap, and once again the handoff to Rondé Worrells, and this time there is absolutely nothing there. Nathan Ports, among others, in for the Fulton Steamers. Huge play here early, Dave.
Yeah, definitely 3rd and 5. Let's see what Coach Pearson has to throw with the Fulton Steamers.
Gibson out of the shotgun, back to throw. He fires, and the pass is intended for Caleb Herring, but it is knocked away by Keegan Van Kampen. Good coverage by Keegan there.
Yeah, that was great coverage. Ended up just deflecting the ball. Probably almost had a chance maybe to pick that off, but just chose to knock it down and be safe.
Do want to say, too, I want to welcome in not only our Tiger fans, but also people that are tuning in from Fulton as well as all over this part of the state. 2 undefeated teams. We're glad to have you on board. Tyler Gibson punts. This is a good punt. Fielded by Fulton at about their 41-yard line, and they're going to get a good return on this. Down to about the 42 of Princeton. Kyler Pessman, who is just a dynamic player on the return.
Yeah, Drew Harp with the tackle there for the Tigers. Got the ball across into the Tigers' territory here.
Pessman last week had 3 touchdowns just in the first half. And if you watch like the highlight zone on the Quad City stations, he is a frequent participant in those highlight films. He's a tremendous player. 1st and 10 for the Steamers in Tiger territory at the 43-yard line. Barnett awaits the snap. Fakes a handoff. Now he gives it to Rash, and the Tigers are all over this, stopping it at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a nice job again by number 14, Drew Harp. Little counter, and he was there to put him right down on the ground. In fact, they lost a yard. So.
Yeah, that's been Drew Harp all year long. He is a very good tackler. 2nd down and 11. Steamers have been successful going to the air. Will they here? No. It is Rash powering his way up the middle. And he's going to bring up third down and roughly 4. Well, make it 5 or 6, I beg your pardon.
Cole Shipper, number 56 for the Fulton, just threw a real nice block there to give him a hole to run through.
Call it third down and 5 at the 37 for the Steamers. Tiger faithful have the cowbells going, hoping to encourage that Tiger defensive front. Barnett's got a lot of time. He fires. He's got a man open, and it's Brock Mason trying to tightrope the sideline. Cannot make the catch. It'll bring up 4th down and 5.
Yeah, really good coverage on him by the Davis boys, and the ball would have had to been perfectly thrown. It was just a little off behind him and took him out of bounds, but that was the same play that they ran the first play of the game.
I think you're right.
Just a big game.
Better coverage. And they didn't miss by much there, but no. 4th down and 5 at the 37 of Princeton for the Steamers. And the Steamer team has confidence. They're going for it on 4th down unless they're going to try and draw the Tigers off sides. Nope. Barnett back to throw. Rushes on and he throws. It's a screen pass completed to Pessman. He's got the first down and more as Pessman is knocked out of bounds down around the 20-yard line, and a penalty flag comes in late.
I thought I saw a flag come in. Let's see what the call is.
Makes you wonder, maybe a late hit. We'll see.
That's going to be against the Tigers. So that chalked on another 10 that took him down to about the 11-yard line, Norm.
He's waiting for Mike Veranda. I'm not sure what the two waving arms are, but maybe a late hit. At any rate, 1st and 10 at the 11 for the Steamers. They are on the march once again. Barnett under center. And this time it's Pessman trying to get around the outside. He does. He's to the 5. He's in for the touchdown. Or are they going to rule? Yes. They say he made it just inside the pylon, and Fulton has advanced to a 13-0 lead on an 11-yard run by Tyler Pessman with 6:33 to go in the first period. Indy Canage on for his second PAT of the night. The snap is good and the kick is on the way. Wait for the signal and it is good. So the Steamers go up by a score of 14-0. I just heard the familiar
Steamer horn.
Yeah.
Whistle.
There's a group of Steamer fans out beyond the scoreboard with the flatbed trailer and some bleachers on there. So they have great fans in Fulton, no question about that.
Yeah, if you're willing to travel an hour and a half on and bring down a flatbed trailer, you're considered good fans, I'd say.
Yeah, and I know Princeton has had that as well at some of their games. So Tigers have got an uphill fight on their hands as the Steamers appear to be the least bit intimidated by Princeton. Well, a busy man, Indy Canage, ready to kick off. He's done a great job on not only kickoffs, but 2 for 2 on extra points.
Well, unfortunately, on the first kickoff, the penalty hurt the Tigers. We'll see what happens this time.
And Tegan Davis has some problems retrieving it, but now he runs straight ahead. And a good return under the circumstance. Gets it out to beyond the 25-yard line, about a 15-yard return.
Yeah, just straightforward. I'm sure there was no monkey business. Let's just see how far we can run straight forward and then let our offense take over after that.
First and 10, Tigers.
Well, let's see how the Tigers respond to this 14-0 lead. Do they open it up or do they keep it on the ground? Gibson is in the shotgun. He's proven to be quite the outstanding passer this season. He's back to throw. He's under pressure. Throws, and the pass is incomplete. Boy, taking a hard hit was Bennett Sirens.
And we have a flag on the play, so I think it's unfortunately going to be maybe against the Tigers. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, in the position of where you would guess holding.
And that's what it is, holding. Question is, you're just going to keep pushing them back. But yeah, that was a nice defensive play. Fulton.
First down and 22 for Princeton at the 15. You would think almost assuredly they would have to go to the air here. No, they're going to keep it on the ground, and it's Tyler Gibson, and he's not going to get a whole lot here considering there were 22 yards to go for the first down. Just a short gain on that keeper. Give Tyler 5 on that run. Second down and 17 as we slip under the 6-minute mark to go in the first period. Fulton leading 14-0. Gibson awaits the snap. He has it. Looks to throw. And he fires. And this one is caught. What a tremendous catch. Hauling that one in is Bennett Sirens down around the 42-yard line.
Yeah, that was just a great throw and catch. Sirens ran the pattern and just never gave up and ran right underneath the ball. Even with very good coverage by Fulton, just a really, really nice throw.
So the Tigers into Steamer territory, and stay tuned, folks. I think we're in for a great one tonight. First and 10 for the Tigers at the Steamer 42. And a sweep play is going for big yardage, a first down and more for Logan Glancy, the speedster.
Yeah, just a little end around to Logan Glancy and a couple nice blocks out front, and that's going to move the chains again for the Tigers.
First and 10 at the 28 of Fulton. So the Tigers putting a couple of big plays back to back. Double tight ends on this formation. Gibson to throw, and the pass is caught, and it's Sirens going forward for a short gain.
Yeah, about a 3-yard gain, but maybe 4.
Second and 7. Go ahead, Dave.
No, just nice little plays, moving the ball forward. That's what's important right now for the Tigers.
Rondé whirls to the immediate right of Tyler Gibson. And it's Rondé up the middle. Another short gain, but Tigers definitely in 4-down territory as they're looking at 3rd down and call it 4.
Well, when you prepare for Princeton, I mean, you're going to be preparing for number 28, and I'm sure every time he touches the ball, they've got 2 or 3 guys on him. So
I am sure that you are right, as we'll see what the Tigers dial up here. Coach Lower giving some signals to his defense. Gibson in the shotgun.
He's there's a flag. It's probably going to have to call a timeout, or they're going to have a delay on that. So Princeton must have got the timeout.
Yeah, they did indeed get the timeout. Give us a chance, Dave. Of course, we have the main attraction in the state right here, but if you want to talk about some of the other games that are going on tonight.
Well, tonight we have Amboy Lamoille taking on Ashton Franklin Center. Genoa Kingston is at Mendota. Canelan is at LP. Mercer County is at Stark County. Monmouth Roseville is traveling to Rock Ridge. Ottawa is at Rochelle. Ottawa Marquette is at Mid-County. Princeville is at Anawan Weathersfield. And the rest of the teams in the Three Rivers ended their season last week. And then Saturday we have St. Bede 4-1 at Orion 1-4.
Yeah, Hall finishing up at 1-4, and Bureau Valley 0-4. But I thought both of those teams, as the season progressed, showed improvement. And under the circumstances, that's all you can hope for. So, no doubt, better things lie ahead.
Just the pure fact that the kids are playing is
100% right, and Tigers are going to make it through a 6-game schedule without any interruptions. And that's Tegan Davis in at quarterback, and he takes off and runs, and look at him go. He's down near the goal line, apparently just short.
Yeah, he's about 1 yard short. Just a burst of speed there, hit the hole and took off.
We'll share some statistics that Coach Pearson was kind enough to get to me this afternoon. But I think, pretty sure, as memory serves, that Tegan's averaging over 10 yards a rush. First and goal for the Tigers at the Steamer 2. And it's Ronde working his way towards the goal line. No signal, so apparently short. It'll be second down.
Yeah, Fulton Steamer's front line just did a nice job of coming up and clogging the hole. Ended up stopping.
Rapidly moving first quarter, 3:30 to go in the first. Fulton leads 14-0, but Princeton knocking on touchdown's door. Now it's Ronde running around left end, scampers in for the touchdown from 2 yards out with 3:18 to go in the first period.
Yeah, definitely. Tigers needed a score there. They actually moved the ball really well that whole possession and mixed in a little passing, a little running, a couple nice end arounds.
Jamie Reinhardt in for the PAT, 25 of 27 on the year. Here's the snap and Jamie's kick. Absolutely perfect, and it's now 14-7 in favor of Fulton.
Well, I'll tell you what, this game's really turned out to be a quick starter right off the bat with 3 scores in the first quarter. People might have thought it would have been all Princeton, but Fulton scored twice, and now the Tigers have gotten on the board. So now we just need to see what the Tigers defense can do.
Yeah,
what changes they're going to make.
And interesting too, Dave, we noted that I believe the Steamers defense is averaging giving up around 6 points a game, and the Tigers 9. Well, those numbers are going to be apparently blown out of the water unless there's a big change. These teams are moving up and down the field with relative ease.
Yeah, unfortunately, those averages just got thrown to the wayside. So we'll see what Princeton can do on defense. That'll be a big test for them.
You know, you mentioned about Rock Ridge being in action tonight. I mean, we think about Princeton, we think about Fulton, we think about Sterling Newman, but I was listening to Hall radio broadcast, and Mike Filippini, who I know you're familiar with.
Sure.
He said that Rock Ridge is also an elite team, and I wouldn't doubt that in the least. So Jamie Reinhardt set to kick off. And this is just a short kick. Tigers hoping for a recovery, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one out of bounds. If it would have been maybe just a little bit farther down the field, Princeton might have had a shot at that. So we'll see what Fulton decides to do. I would think they would take the ball right there and be happy with the outcome of that.
And it looks like that is the case. So we'll see where they mark the ball.
Looks like it's going to be at their own 41-ish.
Exactly right. Okay, so 1st and 10 for Fulton at their own 41. 3:18 to go, first period. Fulton leads 14-7. The sun is set behind Princeton High School, so the lights having a little more of effect now. Barnett back to throw. He's under heavy pressure. Gets away and he completes the pass. And it's going to wind up being a relatively short gain. Hauling that one in is Jacob Jones.
Yeah, nice job by, I'll have you help me with this name, Danny.
Oh, Saihaki, yeah.
Danny Saihaki did a nice job of making sure he didn't get too many yards on that play.
2nd down and 7 for the Steamers as they have it at their own 44-yard line. Fulton has been effective whether they've ran the ball or passed it. This time it's Pestman trying to get to the outside, and the Tigers respond well. It's going to be a loss on the play.
Same guy, Danny Saihaki's right there. And you know what's interesting is on Fulton's first possession, they pretty much have the ball in the same spot, just about the same exact spot. So we'll see what the Tigers can do here. It's 3rd and long for the Steamers.
Brock Mason comes wide to the near side, and they've targeted him a couple times, once successfully, once just missing. Tigers look like they're going to blitz, and here they come. Barnett able to get the throw away, and it's up for grabs, and it's taken away by Tegan Davis, and he's going to get a huge return. Davis all the way down to inside the 25-yard line of Fulton.
Well, you can credit the blitz there on the defense to make their quarterback, Barnett, had to get rid of that ball in a hurry. He basically just threw it up in the crowd, and Davis was right there, turned from defensive back to receiver in a hurry.
Actually mark it at the 27-yard line. First and 10 for the Tigers. And that's Augie Christensen, I do believe, right up the middle. Nice gain on 1st down.
Yeah, nice little run. Gate got about half of it, 5 yards, brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 for the Tigers. Double tight end offense, and the handoff goes to Rondé Worrells, and Rondé surges ahead inside the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you, Jacob Jones just did a nice job of getting him low and wrapping him up, and we're just about ready to go under a minute. When we have the next snap, we'll be under a minute to go here in the 1st quarter with the Tigers down to the Steamers 14-7.
It's Rondé Worrells once again. Rondé trying to get to the outside. Oh, is he hit hard. Right at about the 1st down marker. In fact, he gets beyond it.
So. Yeah, that was a great hit over there to knock him out of bounds. I can't get the number yet, but he had no problems coming up and introducing himself, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jacob Jones listed at 6'1", 170, but boy, he packs a wallop. 1st and 10 for Princeton at the Fulton 15. Gibson out of the shotgun. He's got plenty of time. Now he's chased at the last instant, gets away. Tyler's going to try to run, but he's not going anywhere. It's a sack as Ethan Rash, along with Josh Hausengay, in on the sack.
Yeah, he's going to lose about 5 on that. Pretty good, not pretty good, really good coverage on the receivers by Fulton there. This will probably
that's a great point, Dave. You know, a lot of times, why was there a sack? Well, that's exactly the reason.
Right.
Now Gibson's going to call his own number. He's got good yardage, and he is going to get a 1st down. He's going to get a touchdown. Tyler Gibson from 15 yards out with 14 seconds left in the 1st period.
35 yards. Right? Oh, no, it was only 15. You're right. 15, yeah. Nope, you're right. 15 out.
So
15 out.
Jamie Reinhardt in for the PAT with a chance to tie this one up. Here comes the kick. It looks good, and the referees say it is good. So we are tied at 14 with, ironically, 14 seconds to go in the 1st period.
Exactly. 14 seconds, scores 14-14 now. So the Tigers have actually answered on both sides of the fence. They came out, put the ball right what they wanted to do, run the ball down the field, passing. Nice nice passes, nice runs. Davis with a big spark there on a breakaway. And then Gibson, after he gets sacked, calls his own number, and it's a nice run to the left side.
That blitz by the Tigers seemed to really take Fulton out of their game a little bit.
I think if Princeton can keep putting the pressure on that, I think it's gonna speed them up to where they're not going to be comfortable at all. And when they line out Brock Mason that far off, you got to have a little bit of time to get the ball to him.
Absolutely right. Canelan at LaSalle Peru tonight. The Cavaliers, another team with a chance to wind up undefeated. So that would be a fine accomplishment. Not an easy opponent in Canelan, though. That will be a tough matchup for them.
I think it's interesting how a lot of times in high school football now they'll kick the ball about 20 yards. Just try to a zone, just an area.
Yep, we'll see what happens here. Well, just what you're talking about. Good job of playing shortstop there by Fulton. Number 63, Connor Howard.
Yeah, Connor Howard. Just ball come rolling right at him, and he just grabbed it and fell right to the ground. But like I say, I think it's interesting that they just cook maybe 25 yards down, kick it into a zone. Everybody knows where the ball is going, and that's where they attack.
Yeah, and go back a few years, and you didn't see that very much. But I totally agree with you. You sure see it a lot more these days. It does result in excellent field position for the Steamers, 1st and 10 at their own 47. Barnett back to throw. He fires, and his pass is incomplete. It was intended for Will Connor just inside the 50-yard line.
Just really nice defense there, and again, Princeton Tigers now are just, and that's what they need to do. They just need to apply the pressure and go after him.
Yeah, when you've got the Davis brothers in that defensive backfield, and the other players for Princeton that are back there also do a great job. They can cover a lot of ground, that's for sure. 2nd down and 10 for the Steamers. This is a running play. This is Pessman, and he is in a lot of trouble, and a tackle is made by Logan Glancy.
Yeah, Logan Glancy with a tackle, but he might get a horse collar. I don't know if it was actually a horse collar. No, they're going to pick it up. Yep. It didn't look like it was. From his view, though, it kind of did, but I'm happy to see that he talked to the head official, and he probably said, no, that was not anywhere around the middle of the back, because it kind of looked that way from, I'm sure, his angle.
And, of course, Dave, you're an official. A lot of times in basketball you don't have a chance to talk a call over, but maybe an out-of-bounds play, what did you see?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And good officials just like that are going to get together and talk, and they're going to make sure they have the right call. Everybody on our side, again, I would guarantee from his angle, he only saw the front of the player. He asked the head referee, and the referee said, nah, that was a good tackle. Hands were outside of the shoulders. So,
have you ever refereed football?
Just JFL, and that was
enough?
No, I actually enjoyed it,
okay.
But I always say I'm not good enough at basketball yet. There's always a lot to learn. Even, I've been reffing a long time in basketball, but the game has changed so much, and the way you have to officiate has changed so much, and the expectations, have changed so much that, they've got instant replay and things like that on TV where we're just using our own judgment and calling it on the fly. So,
people have no idea how difficult it is. Well, the Steamers, talking about difficult, they are faced with a difficult situation. 3rd and 14 at their own 43.
I honestly think that if the Tigers just go ahead and blitz and come after them, you might want to play it a little safe, but I'd go after him and not give him any time. Do not give Barnett any time.
And the Tigers are coming with the blitz. Barnett rolls out, fires, and this one is caught. A nice catch. Hauling that one in was Kyler Pessman, the outstanding football player for Fulton, and it is a first down.
Well, as you're watching it on TV, you're seeing Barnett basically running for his life there, and Pessman just keeps running his pattern, and a nice throw and catch.
You know what, Dave? They're going to bring the chain gang over. I was wondering when they signaled first down, it's like, how can you tell that? That is
all the way over on the other side.
I can't help but think of our good friend Paul Baumley. He was just the wizard at calling these, whether or not a guy made it or not. So Paul's probably watching tonight. I know he said it was a first down. So 1st and 10 at the 43 of Princeton for the Fulton Steamers. Tie ball game, 14 all, 11:53 to go, first period.
Well, that was a big first down, just a big first down for Fulton. See what the Tigers do here to answer that.
And Pessman gets the handoff, nearly falls down. As it is, it's going to be no gain, maybe even a slight loss on the play.
And unfortunately, number 9, Logan Glancy, he had a great tackle, but 5 of them jumped on top of him to help him out. But that was a nice tackle. Again, he slipped a little bit, but still.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 11 for the Steamers at the Tiger 43. Tied at 14.
I would look at this Brock Mason on our side.
Tigers come with the blitz. It's a screen and it's complete. It's Ethan Rash. And look at Rash go. Big yardage. Rash still on his feet, and he is going to score.
42 yards.
Wow, 11:02 to go. And wait a minute, this might be coming back. It's going to, so hold everything. I was all set to write down Rash for a touchdown reception. It's going to be, I do believe, a spot foul, so it might result in a first down. We'll see how far back the penalty takes them.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to end up being a first down. Well, depending. Yeah, if it's 15, it won't be, but if it's just 10, which it is, it's going to be a first down, but a break for the Tigers because that was a touchdown.
Yeah, and probably won't be the last time we'll see that play tonight, especially if Princeton continues to blitz. That's the one weapon, the screen.
I still like it just because I know it just puts the Steamers on their heels, and they have to get rid of it in a hurry.
So 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line of Princeton. The Steamers on the march. Rash and Pessman in the backfield. And the Steamers appear a little bit confused, and Coach Lower is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, he's got a couple players looking at him, kind of confused on that. I don't know if we're allowed to do this, but Coach Matlick, who's here at Princeton now, big shout out to him. I haven't talked to him for a long time, but I see he's reaching out a little bit. Great guy, great baseball mind. So just a great athlete.
Are you saying he's here at the game tonight, or is he on the faculty here at Princeton?
Yeah, he's actually a teacher here now.
Okay, yeah.
He's actually just watching the play.
All right, well, I learned something. I wasn't aware of that. You bet. Nice guy.
Him and his wife are both over here. So,
talking about baseball, a big game Monday here at Princeton. I mean, what a game. The Hall Red Devils and the Princeton Tigers. Maybe we're looking at a matchup like Trez Rabargic against Jamie Reinhardt. I don't know. Both coaches, Wick Warren and Tom Keegan, have a lot of options for outstanding pitchers, but it should be a dandy.
Just be a fun one to come watch.
1st and 10 for the Fulton Steamers at the Princeton 27. And this is Pessman on the carry. Good balance by Pessman, getting down close to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, tackled by Tegan Davis, and he tried to get away from him, but Tegan did a great job of wrapping up and not letting him get anywhere.
You know, Dave, talking about coming to the baseball game, I don't know what the policy is going to be. I was actually asked at the gate if I had my vaccination card, and I told them I was with Tiger Central Live, and I have gotten the shots. But if you have your card, may not be a bad idea to bring it with you. I don't know what the requirements are going to be, as we have a penalty, and it's going to march against the Steamers.
I'm going to have to get that. I don't know if it's a personal foul. I mean, it's a 15-yarder, so.
You would think it would have to be something of that nature. Right. But a big swing. Wow. Second down and 18 at the 35, rather than having the ball down at the 20 and short yardage to go. Barnett has time, fires over the middle, and the pass is caught. And is this going to go for a touchdown? You bet it is.
Another flag.
Kyler Pessman for the touchdown.
Well, we have another flag now, but I think it's going to be after it's all said and done. We'll see what happens. Again, it's this time it's against Princeton, but it's unsportsmanlike. Saw them kind of going after each other, so the officials are basically keeping all that in check. That's our third one of the night.
So with 10:22 to go before halftime, Kyler Pessman hauling in the pass from Barnett.
Yeah, so that'll get tacked on for the kickoff.
Andy Kanaj on for his third PAT attempt. He's made 2 at the scoreboard into the field, and now we'll try to kick one towards Central Street. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle, and Fulton goes ahead by a score of 21-14.
Well, a couple penalties each way on the side of the ball there. One to help him, one to hurt him, and then just a nice throw and catch by Barnett to Pessman. Princeton will get the ball first time in here in the second quarter. 10:22 to go on the clock. Trailing 7 with Fulton Steamers.
Kyler Pessman already with 2 touchdowns tonight. He had 3 in the first half against Morrison, and he's everything that's advertised. He is a dynamic football player.
Going to kick off from Princeton's 45 now. I think with his leg, this is one he's going to try to get in the end zone. I'm going to guess.
Coach Lower out talking to the officials. Certainly not an animated argument or anything, but just trying to get something straight. Tegan Davis is at the goal line. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he's a threat to take it to the house every time he puts his hands on the ball.
Yeah, if he's going to kick it deep, he needs to get it to the end zone.
So Indy Kanaj kicks away and goes through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 1st and 10 for Princeton at the 20.
Well, Norm, what do you like as far as Princeton moving the ball? I mean, I like a little bit of both, but it seems like Tyler Gibson can definitely throw the ball well.
Oh, and had a great game. He had a couple throws last week against Sterling Newman that they make you think. I don't know if Tyler has aspirations this way, but that he could be playing on Saturdays next year. He's a senior. But, maybe a Eureka, Monmouth College sort of a thing. And Gibson back to throw. He's got lots of time. Now he takes off and fires over the middle, and it is incomplete, well short of his intended receiver, Bennett Sirens.
Yeah, just short, but plenty of time to get rid of the ball. I'm kind of like Schmitty on this. I like the slant in high school football, and it's usually good for 5 to 10 yards every time you throw it.
Of course, Bureau Valley for years with Cale Barnett, that 5 to 10 would wind up being a lot more, and the Tigers keep it on the ground. And good yardage on this play. Ronde whirls. And they're saying move the chains, first down.
You know, sooner or later, he's going to wear them guys down from Fulton. Pretty much have to figure that.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 30. This is Logan Glancy, the speedster, and he has hit hard. Hit a second time, no late hit called. Gain of a couple on the play for Princeton.
That was just a great hit. Trying to get that kid's number, but haven't got it yet. But he just a great hit to come up and stop him in his tracks.
Seems like through the years, Fulton has always had an outstanding linebacker core. Great pursuit from sideline to sideline. 2nd down and 9 from the 32. And now being hit for a loss on the play is Matt Lucas.
Yeah, Rash just burst of speed there, got him. 3rd down and 15. Of course, you know for a fact that they're going to have their defensive backs about 15 yards deep.
That Ethan Rash is some football player, isn't he, Dave?
Yeah.
Now Tyler Gibson back to throw. Fires deep, and he has a man.
Nice
It's hauled in. Bennett Sins.
Bennett Sears just ran a jet route as fast as he could go. Tyler Gibson with a perfect pass, dives out, catches it with the arms. Great job. Great throw, great catch.
So a huge play. Tigers facing 3rd and 15. Not only pick up the first down, but advance it well into Steamer territory.
That's just, hey, when the ball gets hiked, you run as fast as you can run, and I'll throw it as far as I can throw it.
1st and 10 at the 38 for the Tigers. Ronde whirls right next to Tyler Gibson. Tyler back to throw. The ball's tipped. And is the interception made? We're waiting for the call. It is. Will Connor with just a great interception there, and probably even as great was whoever tipped that ball at the line of scrimmage for Fulton.
Yeah, just a nice tip at the line, and you saw him stop, jump for the ball, leap. Good catch, made sure both arms were underneath of it.
So what a turn of events. A big long pass completion for the Tigers, and Fulton comes right back with a tip pass and an interception.
8:10 to go here in the second quarter. Steamers are leading the Tigers 21-14 with the ball. And now we're going to have timeout, Princeton. Unless he pointed the wrong way.
No, you're exactly right. So the Tigers will be down to 1 timeout remaining in this first half. But, you know, that's what they're there for. You might as well get on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. That probably was a very good time for the timeout after a huge offensive play, and then, unfortunately, the block pass at the line of scrimmage and the interception. Just give them a minute to calm them down, make sure they know what they got to do to get the job done for the last 8 minutes.
You know, Dave, I was at the Princeton Lena Winslow game, and you know Lena Winslow's reputation, much like Fulton, you know, good year after year. But this game has a totally different feel to it. Lena Winslow's best player got hurt real early in the game, and really from that point on, there wasn't much doubt about who was going to win the game. But this Fulton squad, boy, they've got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, and definitely. Pessman is just impressing me to death, and so is Rash, not only on the offensive side, but the defensive side. Yeah, Lena Winslow's taken a run the last 3 or 4 years with the Bruce kid. Yeah, two guys go to Iowa. I mean, yeah, they were stacked.
Remarkable program. 1st and 10 for the Steamers, and it's that man, Ethan Rash. And he's able to just power his way out to around the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Now we've got a Steamer who's...
Yeah, Cole Shipper, I believe, is limping off the field. He had gotten downfield to block. I don't know if it's 56 or 58.
I think you're exactly right that it was Shipper.
Yeah, he got downfield for a block, and I think he's just going to walk this one off and then be back in there.
At any rate, 2nd down and 6 for the Steamers. They lead 21-14.
Oh, the ball went nowhere on the ground.
And it is fumbled, and the Tigers come up with it.
Yeah, Barnett just went to pitch it, and there wasn't anybody there. And the ball went right to the ground. And
Augie Christensen coming up with it, so the teams basically trade turnovers at about the same spot on the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 36-yard line of Fulton.
So that was a great timeout by Coach Pearson. I mean, he rallied his troops, told them what they needed to get done, and not to lose their cool about anything.
Now Rondé whirls, and the ball's loose once again. Who has this? Fulton says they have it, and the referees agree. Wow. Will Connor he had the interception. He came up with the fumble. And so these two teams who for the longest time played just remarkable football, one amazing play after another, have now kind of hit a bit of a snag.
Well, we're certainly not going to have the Tigers call another timeout. I think the message was already sent not to worry about things, just play the game.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line for Fulton. They lead 21-14. Very entertaining game tonight here at Bryant Field. And the Steamers with this is Jones, and he makes a nice move, gets out to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, just a great cutback. He was his lead blocker, Pessman, was actually wanting him to come all the way around, but he made a smart move, cut back. Ended up getting, maybe 6, 7 on at least 6.
Yeah, they're going to call it 2nd and 3 at the 35. Yet Jones, 6'1", 170, so relatively slender, but not only outstanding on offense, but he's made some big tackles on defense tonight as well. Now it's Rash right up the middle, 1st down and more.
Yeah, just a hard run right up the middle. The old smash mouth football there.
Out to the 44-yard line up Fulton, 1st and 10.
You talk about, both coaches mixing it up, and that's a great play. You keep going around the end thinking you can bust one loose, and then you just shoot one right up the middle. You would think that their strength would be to try to get around the ends, but
it's a great 1-2 punch. Rash up the middle, Pessman to the outside. And now another big gain up the middle, but it's not Rash. This time it is Keegan Van Kampen.
Yeah, number 42, Keegan Van Kampen. That might have been his first touch of the night.
2nd down and 2, Steamers.
But a fine running back and a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2 for Fulton. They're in Princeton territory at the 48. Steamers, at least in the last few plays, finding success on the ground. Barnett awaits the snap, and he's going to throw a screen pass intended for Pessman, incomplete. May have been the best thing that could have happened for Fulton because Grant Foes was there to put a stop to it.
Yeah, Grant Foes was right there with him, and I'm afraid that probably wouldn't have gone far. But I'm going to take my hat off right now to Cale Davis because he's got the job of defending Brock Mason, and Brock Mason has only had the one catch, although it was a big one right off the bat. But I don't know if Cale was on him then, but Cale's been put on coverage for him.
3rd and short for the Steamers. Up the middle the play goes. This is going to be very, very close.
He's going to say 4th down, the official on this side.
Van Kampen once again up the middle.
I'm going to say Pat Lauer's just going to say, I want a measurement.
I wouldn't blame him in the least.
They're going to bring the official over and make him take a good hard look at it. And they're going to bring him in.
You're exactly right. This always makes me think of a story, Dave. There was Ron Luciano in his book, The Umpire Strikes Back, talked about a minor league team that the town drunk was also the one that put down the foul lines, and the foul line happened to be shaped like an S, and there was a hit down the line. Big argument. Let's see, what's the call here?
He just missed it, probably about 2 inches. So this is a big call now for Fulton. It's 4th down and 2 inches. I've almost got to say that they'll probably try to draw him off, and then I would definitely go for it. I would definitely do a quarterback sneak. Or
Barnett has listed their quarterback at 6'3", 180. But boy, that is a tough line up front for Princeton with the likes of Grant Foes and Alex May.
If you just go up and just do a no count, just, maybe a pat on the leg and we go, and you don't care if anybody else goes with you.
Barnett awaits the snap.
Trying to draw him.
Still trying to draw the Tigers offsides, and Fulton's going to take a timeout. But not a bad idea.
No, that was a great luxury of them having that, extra 2. I think they had 2 timeouts to go right there. I think they only called 1, so that being their second timeout, it was no big deal for them to do that.
And it takes a lot of discipline on both sides for the Tigers not to jump off sides, and for the Fulton Steamers not to try to get an early start and commit an illegal procedure.
And to tell you the truth, of just about all the high school games I've ever watched or been part of, I've never seen the quarterback turn around and actually look like he's calling a play and then try to get him again. Usually they just never stop. So that was a great job by Fulton's quarterback to pretend like he's calling a play and then come up and try to get him again. Lowers wants 34 to get way out.
I don't know what's a better bet, a quarterback sneak or rash. It's rash, but we have a penalty flag right off the bat, offsides against the Tigers, so they'll get it for charity here, one of the Steamers. .5:02 to go before halftime, 21-14 Fulton.
Well, they were going to get the first down on the play, but
Result of that penalty will stop about the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, Steamers.
1st and 10 for Fulton at the 41 of Princeton. Barnett in the shotgun. Barnett back to throw. He fires, and this pass is incomplete. Good coverage by Bennett Stearns, intended for Brock Mason. Apparently a penalty flag on the play.
I think he just dropped it.
Okay.
He's going back to pick it up, so.
Yeah, they wave it off. No call. Certainly no interference. There was no contact there.
And you had, again, Cale Davis over there too, number 5. And yeah, when they're telling the officials, hey, you dropped the flag.
Yeah.
You might need that.
2nd down and 10 for the Steamers at the Tiger 41. And it's a reverse to Pessman. Can he get free? Yes, he does. Not for a first down, but certainly substantial yardage on that carry for Pessman.
I thought we had a flag over there. So maybe it'll be a block, a bad block. We'll see. It's right in that area.
Good call, Dave.
Yeah. Holding. Say. It was right in the area where the runner just came through, so maybe that's how he got the 7 yards, was holding.
Well, we've seen both of these teams tonight be able to overcome big deficits as far as long yardage to go for a first down, but Fulton's got their work cut out for them now. 2nd down and 20 plus here. Call it 22.
I like the way both teams are mixing it up with the run and the pass, and
Barnett awaits the snap. No blitz by the Tigers, but they do put on good pressure. It's a screen, and it is complete. And that's Ethan Rash getting back some of those yards. They still bring up third down and roughly 14 to go.
It's a big third down for the Fulton Steamers. A bigger third down for the Princeton Tigers here, Norm.
Yeah, that play probably would have worked better for Fulton had it been a blitz by Princeton. But the Tigers, with that linebacking core staying home, able to limit that to relative short yardage. 3rd and 14. Barnett back to throw. He has plenty of time. Surveys the field, fires deep, and this one is incomplete. Good coverage down there by the Tigers.
Just a great job on defense there.
Tegan Davis got a hand in there.
Well, 4th down. 3:44 to go here in the second quarter. Tigers trailing the Fulton Steamers 21-14. Plenty of time for the Tigers if they can get the ball back to march it down and score. So Fulton's going to punt the ball away.
Here's the snap, and it's a good kick. Tegan Davis is going to field it. Excuse me, that is not Tegan Davis. That's Bennett Sirens, and he runs out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
I was trying to get the number of who was back there. It's a nice little run there. Gets it back. Gets out of bounds.
3:32 to go before halftime, so certainly plenty of time for Princeton to put in a tying score.
I'd really like to see this Tyler Gibson. I'd like to see him do 3 or 4 short passes for long gains.
He's certainly capable of doing it, no question about that. He's got some good receiving core with the likes of the Davises, Bennett Sirens. But instead, it's a pitch to Rondé Worrells, and Rondé is hit hard, and perhaps even a loss on the play.
Again, you know, we've kind of talked about this. To me, that's 3 or 4 guys out there. Their keys are on number 28, and
they've got that scouting report down good.
I think if you do something that they aren't expecting, I think you're going to do well with it.
And bear in mind, the Tigers deep in their own territory. They can ill afford a mistake here. They keep it on the ground. It's Rondé Worrells. Not much happening here. It'll be 3rd and long.
Well, I'm sure that Fulton's not going to worry about taking a timeout. I think if they went in 21-14, they would be just fine with that. And Princeton's going to get the ball to start the second half. And maybe that's why they're not taking as many chances either.
Although if they would get a stop here, it wouldn't surprise me if they would take a timeout. Running play for the Tigers, and a flag comes in, and another flag, and the second one's going to be a horse collar. And I'm guessing the first one is against Princeton.
Yeah, we're probably going to have offsetting here, which just be 3rd down again.
Boy, that horse collar is a dangerous play.
That's 2 face masks, so it's just going to be 3rd down again. That's interesting that we had face masking on the offense.
Okay, so all that just amounts to a replay. 3rd down and 11, the ball on the 16-yard line of the Tigers. And as you noted, Dave, Princeton keeping it on the ground, being fairly conservative here. Clock ticking, will dip under 2 minutes by the time this ball is snapped.
I don't think either coach have a problem with the way it's going right now.
A timeout is taken.
I think it's going to be. I didn't catch who the timeout was on, but it might have been on Fulton.
That's their scoreboard showing that Fulton has no timeouts left with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, I think that was probably a smart timeout. Same deal, just get your troops ready to go. And like I said, I really don't think I don't think Pat Lowers has any problems going in with this score. And I know that Tigers don't want to make a mistake, like you said, down here, this deep down in their side of the field. So, and with them getting the ball to start the second half, I think they're confident that they can come out and march it down the field.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 11 at the 16-yard line. What did the Tigers come up with during the timeout? Clancy in motion. And this is Augie Christensen once again. Nice little gain, but certainly not enough for the first down. Bring up 4th down.
So Princeton has one timeout left? Correct?
Yeah, and
so would you just let it run down until, had to call timeout?
Clock continuing to run. 1:30 showing. Tyler Gibson back to punt. Tigers need a good snap, and it is a good one. And Gibson's kicks away.
Oh, nice punt.
High kick that goes out of bounds right about the 44-yard line of Fulton with 1:16 to go in the half.
I really don't think that Fulton will do anything fancy-dancy here. I think you're going to see him run up the middle or around the end and not take any chances. And I think Coach Lowers is ready to go into the locker room right now.
All right. Well, they certainly do have some weapons, though, especially Pessman, if they can get him any kind of space at all. Steamers are going to look to throw the ball, and the pass is on the way. It is complete, but only a short gain. Hauling that one in is Brock Mason.
He's met by number 9, Logan Glancy.
Logan Glancy's had some nice tackles tonight for Princeton.
Yeah.
Just doing a really great job at defensive back.
And that's been his career. He's one you can always count on to do a super job back there. 2nd down and 6, but the bigger issue, 1:08 to go, and the Steamers have 52 yards to get it into the end zone. No timeouts left for the Steamers.
Oh, nice job.
This is going to be a run for a loss. Ethan Rash on the carry.
Number 60. I don't have a 60. For Princeton.
No, it is not on our list.
Playing nose tackle. But what a great tackle on his part.
3rd and 8 for the Steamers. 43 seconds left. It's a screen pass to Rash. Makes a nice move. Another good move, and amazingly has the first down. He's still on his feet, and Rash gets down to about the 37-yard line with 31 seconds left.
They got too many people out there to go running a play, so.
Clock is stopped as they reset the chains for the first down as we dip under 30 seconds to go first half. Now they spike the ball. 25 seconds left. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I never thought about that, but with their kicker, I hear him yelling down there about being ready to kick a field goal, but with no timeouts, it's going to have to happen in a hurry.
That's an excellent point, Dave. Look at where Pessman's lined up, about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, behind Trips to the left.
That just pass right over to him and let those guys block.
Oh, it's kind of a decoy, and they have a man open, and it's incomplete. Intended for Brock Mason. Wow, what a well-disguised play by the Steamers, and it nearly worked.
Yeah, just Unfortunately for the Tigers, the pass was just a little thrown off to his right side and got out of bounds.
Well, that's what we talk about with Pat Lauer. He, doesn't necessarily go by the book, and that almost paid off big time. And when I say that about him, I mean that in the most complimentary sense.
Yeah.
20 seconds to go, first half. 3rd down, 10 for Fulton at the 36. But the clock, the big factor. Only 20 seconds left in the half. Barnett back to throw, has a lot of time, fires, and he's got a man open. It's Jones. He catches it, yes.
Yeah, they're going to call a catch. And probably out of bounds.
He is inside the 15-yard line. So the clock will stop with 13 seconds left, and the question of Andy Kanaj coming in for a field goal.
No, they're going to start the clock right. They're starting the clock right now.
Clock is running. The Steamers are going to have to get up there and spike it.
So
down to 6, down to 5. And I'm not sure why the clock did start. I don't think that's right. I mean, he was knocked out of bounds. It was a first down, and Pat Lauer is going to talk to the official about it. And I think he has a legitimate argument. What they possibly can be saying to the contrary, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting right there.
I know we have the best clock operator in the state in John Reinhardt, and he must have had the signal to start the clock. Well, now the clock is stopped with 4.5 seconds left.
Princeton called timeout. So
very, very bizarre set of circumstances here.
Well, Fulton's going to try for a field goal here. Looks like it's going to be about a 40-yarder. No, 30.
Andy Kanaj, and this would be a huge kick. It would make it a 2-possession game. The snap is good. The kick is on the way towards the uprights. And it is good. It is good. Andy Kanaj with a 30-yard field goal with just 0.2 of a second to go in the half. Wow. 30-yard kick, Dave, but it looked like it had plenty to spare.
Yeah, definitely. Great snap, great hold, and great kick there. We were talking about that kid. He has a great leg, so with the .2 on the clock.
5'6", 130 pounds, but wow, he has a thunderfoot. Well, there's still 0.2 of a second left. What do you think, Dave?
I don't know. I didn't expect that. What I just saw, to tell you the truth, I expected would just run up the guts and be happy.
That is such a bizarre set of circumstances there, that last 10, 12 seconds.
Well, I guarantee you the up man's going to get this ball. That ball's not going to go more than probably, you would think, a couple of yards in the air.
Andy Kanaj has got to be pretty fired up after kicking that field goal. But you're exactly right. He's not going to boom this kick.
I would like to think that they wouldn't give him any type of return.
Yeah, and exactly as you called, big Sunday hop fielded by the Tigers, and they're just going to take a knee, and that will take us to halftime. As that was Danny Sy Hockey reeling that one in. 24-14 Fulton here at the half. Steve Morton and Steve Gray working the cameras for us here tonight. We certainly appreciate their fine work. Glad to have all of you along, as I said earlier, whether you're rooting for Fulton, Princeton, or just the numerous football fans around the area that are watching this game. You want to give us the scoring plays, Dave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
You know what? We'll hold off on it. The Tiger Band is coming onto the field, and Steve is right next to us. Steve, we'll just go ahead and take the halftime entertainment.
Before our final performance, the PHS Marching Tigers would like to thank our senior members for their dedication, their leadership, and their resilience in the face of the challenging circumstances from this year. Thank you, seniors. Tonight, the Marching Tigers are going to take you out to the movies. Everyone has had to be a bit of a superhero to deal with the challenges this year, and we have emerged loud and proud. This heroic selection is the theme music from the Avengers. Please welcome to the field the Princeton High School Pom Squad under the direction of Ms. Abby Cochran. Tonight's routine has been choreographed by senior members Jillian Sayaki, Olivia Eichen, Isabel Graber, Audrey Jennings, and Zoe Starkey. The PHS Pom Squad thanks their senior members for their dedication and leadership. This next performance is set to a 2019 hit originally performed by Ben High Schooler Billie Eilish. It may contradict our heroics from the last song, but for our final performance of this year, this is Bad Guy.
And we're back at halftime, where the Fulton Steamers enjoy a 24-14 lead over the Princeton Tigers. And Dave, I know you got some stats here at halftime from Dave Robertson, the Princeton statistician, or Roby as he's fondly known.
Yeah.
What you got?
Rondé Worrells has 10 carries for 28 yards, which probably becomes pretty surprising to people. You would think the numbers would be a lot huger, but like we've kind of talked about the whole game, that they're pretty much looking for him to touch the ball every time. Tyler Gibson has got 20 yards, and he's got 70 yards passing. And then on the flip side of that, we have Fulton, their quarterback, Connor Barnett. He has 78 yards passing also. But as far as the scoring goes, I think you've got the...
Yeah, the scoring opened up with a touchdown catch by Jacob Jones, an 8-yard pass from Connor Barnett. Indy Canage with the kick, 7-0 Fulton. At the 6:35 mark of the first period, it was Tyler Pessman with an 11-yard run. Canage with the kick, 14-0 Fulton. Tigers' first score of the night came with 3:18 to go in the first period. Rondé Worrells with the 2-yard run. Jamie Reinhardt with the kick. And at that point, it was Fulton 14, Princeton 7. Tigers tied it up with just 14 seconds to go in the first period. Tyler Gibson with a 15-yard run, and Jamie Reinhardt's kick was good. We're tied at 14. Then the Steamers went ahead with 10:22 to go in the half. A 35-yard touchdown play. Tyler Pessman retrieving a pass from Connor Barnett. 21-14 Steamers. And then a bizarre set of circumstances down at the Central Street end of the field. A long pass catch made by the Steamers at around the 10-yard line. It resulted in a first down, and when they put the ball back in play, the clock began to run. It was stopped with 4 seconds left, and Indy Canage, with actually a pretty difficult angle, nailed a 30-yard field goal with 0.2 seconds to go in the half. a huge kick, Dave, because it puts Fulton up 24-14 and makes it a 2-possession game.
And what's interesting about that is Princeton actually called their final timeout to unfortunately give them a chance to kick it. Otherwise, they would have had to try to clock the ball.
And I don't think they could have.
I don't think they could have either, because they had no idea the clock was going to run. So they were, they were planning on running one play, I'm sure a pass play, for a touchdown. And if it didn't happen, then they'd have enough time to kick that field goal. But the way, like you said, the turn of events was the clock started running, and Pat Lowers didn't know what to do. And thankfully, Princeton called their final timeout and gave them a chance to set up for it. But even before that, the maybe 5 or 6 minutes of football before that was really crazy with the interceptions and the beautiful pass and catches, and it just it seemed like it was just a great battle out there on offense and defense.
Yeah, we had the first quarter and a half was a clinic, and then we went through a little stretch there where we just had a bunch of turnovers in about a 2-minute span, and then things kind of leveled out the rest of the half. Dave, if you'd be so kind, I know we touched on it once before, but if you could let us know what's happening in high school football tonight as well as tomorrow.
So we have Amboy Lamoille is at Ashton Franklin Center tonight. Genoa Kingston is at Mendota. Canelan is at LP. Mercer County is at Stark County. Monmouth Roseville is at Rock Ridge. Ottawa is at Rochelle. Otto Marquette is at Lake County. Princeville is at Anawan Weathersfield. And St. Bede plays tomorrow at Orion. And then the rest of the teams in the Three Rivers, Bureau Valley, EP, Hall, Kewanee, Morrison, Newman, Riverdale, and Sherrard, they ended their seasons last week.
All right. Well, Coach Pearson was so kind as to send me some stats. I got in touch with him relatively late in the day, but I will share with you what he sent along. I think you'll find it interesting. And this is coming into this game. It doesn't include tonight's stats. But Tyler Gibson this season had completed 39 out of 71 passes for 765 yards. That's a 55% completion rating and an average of 19.6 yards per catch. That is a lot. He's thrown for 8 touchdowns. His longest pass completion was 67 yards. As far as rushing, no surprise, Rondé Worrells leading the team in rushing, 82 carries, 488 yards, 6 yards a carry. And Rondé also leads the team with 9 touchdowns. Augie Christensen next in line, 37 carries, 245 yards, 6.6 a carry, 4 touchdowns for Augie. Next, it's Tegan Davis, 14 carries, 225 yards. I mentioned I thought he was over 10 yards a carry. Yeah, you could say that. Averaging 16.1 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Tegan Davis leads in touchdown receptions with 3. He's caught 10 passes for 135 yards. Most catches on the team. Bennett Sirens, 12 for 260 yards. Bennett averaging 21.7 yards per catch. He has 2 TDs. As far as all-purpose yards, no surprise that would be Rondé Worrells. We mentioned about his 488 yards on the ground. He's also caught 53 yards worth of passes, 541 yards. And Tegan Davis is second on the team with 200, again, these are all-purpose yards, 225 yards rushing, 135 receiving, 33 on kick returns, 3 on punt returns, 396 all-purpose yards for Tegan Davis. Let's see, as far as tackles, Rondé Worrells leads the team with 61. Drew Harp is second with 55, and Augie Christensen is third with 46 tackles. As far as sacks, the leader on the team is Pierce Miller, who has 2.5 sacks. Also, let's see, as we check things out here, interceptions. The Tigers have 9 as a team, and Cale Davis has 5 of them, so over half belong to Cale. He's like Willie Mays playing center field out there. Jamie Reinhart, 13 kickoffs this year, an average of 45.3 and 2 touchdowns, but that average, just what you talked about earlier, Dave, a lot of times he's not trying to kick the ball deep, so that kind of digs into that a little bit. Wow, Tyler Gibson, our punter, coming into this game tonight, he has 3 punts all season for 130 yards and an excellent 43.3 average, including his longest punt, 54 yards.
He's had some really good punts tonight. He's had 2 that I think he's only punted twice tonight, but very, very good.
Cale Davis leads in kick returns with an average of 24 yards per return. As far as scoring, once again, no surprise here. Rondé Worrells has scored 54 points, Tegan Davis 36, and then Augie Christensen with 26. Jamie Reinhart 25 out of 27 on PATs coming into the season, and Rondé leads in touchdowns with 9. And that wraps up the stats, and probably a good thing because we're about ready for second half action.
So Princeton's going to get to receive this ball. You know, I just took a couple minutes here just to write down some names. So, you know, when you live where I live in Wyanett and you hear all the names, I can tell you there's a few names on here like Logan Glancy, who I'm sure has been doing a great job all year, but he's had some big plays tonight for Princeton. And then for Fulton, the Jones kid to have, you know, his name in the highlights too. So, and he's had some great defensive plays too.
Well, quite obviously, this is going to be a huge opening possession of this third quarter for Princeton. Andy Kanaj, who's been a busy man and a very productive kicker for Fulton, kicks away, and the Tigers on the return. It's a good one. Getting out to beyond the 30-yard line was Cale Davis. And we have an injured Fulton Steamer on the near sideline.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't see what happened there. But
no, I didn't either, because the play was completely to the other side of the field. It's Caleb Shipper that they're attending to, and we certainly hope he's all right. They're going to get him up on his feet.
Looks like it might be his left knee, left leg. So hopefully he's going to be okay.
Exactly. I hate to see that.
So Princeton's starting off on their own 30-yard line.
They give him the 32. A good 32. Return by Cale Davis. We mentioned during the half that he was leading the team in average return. Tigers come out with a double tight end formation. Rondé the back deep in the backfield. And it goes to Rondé, and not much happening. Maybe a yard or 2.
Those are just hard-fought yardage for
Ethan Rash down at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah. I mean, they're keying on Rondé, and 2 or 3 of them are hitting him every time he touches the ball.
Ethan Rash, as we mentioned, 5'7", 190 pounds. And when somebody hits him, they don't knock him backwards. Second down and 9 for the Tigers. Tegan Davis in at quarterback. And it's a sweep play, and it's not going to work for Princeton. Augie Christensen hit for a loss. Not Augie's fault. He just didn't have much of a chance.
And that's Patrick Lowers. That's actually the coach's son with the tackle there, number 5.
Small wonder that he would be a fundamentally sound football player. So this is not what the Tigers wanted. Third down and 13 at their own 29. Gibson goes under center. Tigers have 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. And Gibson looks to throw. He's under heavy pressure. Still under heavy pressure. Lets it go at the last minute. It's intended for Caleb Herring. It would have been short of the first down anyway. But the pass is incomplete. Good coverage by that man, Patrick Lowers Jr.
Yeah. Yeah, great job on defense. Just never gave him a second to breathe out there. So, well, I was kind of hoping we get the chance to talk about how Princeton was going to be able to move the ball on them.
These Steamers so fundamentally sound. Tyler Gibson back to punt. Low snap, but Gibby scoops it up, kicks it away. And the Steamers are just going to get away from it, and the ball's going to roll dead at about the 35-yard line of Fulton. Well, we mentioned, you know, what a big possession it was for Princeton to begin the third quarter. Well, Dave, the Steamers, should they score on this possession, boy, Princeton's path to victory all of a sudden becomes very narrow.
And this will be an interesting drive for the Steamers. Will be interesting to see how Princeton reacts.
Tigers did have some success with the blitz in the first half, but the screen pass to Ethan Rash on a few occasions proved to be an effective remedy for the Steamers. And on first down, it's Rash right up the middle. About 3 yards on the carry for Ethan Rash.
Got a player hurt.
Tackled by number 24, Danny Sayaki.
Yeah, Danny Sayaki in on the play. Now he goes to the sidelines limping a bit.
And that was another name that I had written down.
Yeah, he did a great job in the first half, absolutely.
Got Brock Mason over here with Davis on him. Oh, nowhere.
Handoff right up the middle, and it is stopped. That is
number
Campen on the carry.
Number 60. We don't have him, but he's had a couple big plays for Princeton.
You want to skip down to Mike Moran and see if he can come up with who that is? Or Alex May on the tackle. I think Alex is listed as 66 on our program, but it is Alex May. Okay, good. Third down and 7 for the Steamers. Barnett back to throw.
Great protection.
Rolls out, fires, and a nice catch made at the 50-yard line. Hauling that one in was Jacob Jones. We might even have a horse collar there, but no call.
Yeah, I thought that might get called. Looked like Logan Glancy on the tackle there, I believe. But just another name, like I say, that's another name I wrote down for Fulton's side of the ball, the Jones kid.
Yeah, he maybe doesn't, get as much attention as the likes of Kussman and Rash, but yeah, he's always Johnny on the spot when they need him. 1st and 10 at midfield for Fulton. And it is Rash, and he's like money in the bank for that 3 or 4 yards. 2nd down and 7 for the Steamers.
He just does such a nice job of following his blockers and not trying to do too much, and then next thing you know, holes open, he's gone.
There probably isn't a coach in the conference that wouldn't like to have him on their team. Good on both sides of the ball. Steamers being very patient, and that clock is melting away. 7:47 to go, third period. Barnett
wide open.
Nice catch. Wow, that was Mason. He made that look easy, Dave, but that's not when you have to reach behind like that. Beautiful grab.
He used his left hand, left arm to reel that in. Pass was behind him, and he was wide open over there on the flat, too. So
very close to a first down. I mean, the ball is placed probably 10 feet from the chains. And apparently they are going to roll just short. 3rd and 1 on the scoreboard, but it is less than a yard.
Well, this would be a big play for the Tigers if they can stop them in the backfield right here.
And if I'm going to take a guess, I'm going to guess that Rash will get this carry. 3rd down and short. It is Rash, and he got what he needed. He didn't get much, but all he had to do was get on the other side of the 40-yard line, and he did it.
And he never got tackled.
Yeah, stayed on his feet the whole time. That is amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
5 or 6 guys pulling on him, and he still stayed on his feet. And in the meantime, the clock continues to run. We'll dip under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter when this ball is snapped. Tigers unable to do anything with their opening drive, but the Steamers, on their initial possession of the third quarter, are faring quite well. Barnett to throw, and the pass is complete to Jones down near the 30-yard line. It will not be a first down, but still a nice game.
Yeah, just a nice little play there, just to keep everybody remembering that they can pass.
Second down and 3 at the 33. Maybe not real imaginative here, Dave, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Mr. Rash get it once again.
I think I'd try giving it to Pessman one time.
Okay, well, we know how dynamic he is, that's for sure.
Either way, I think you're right on the right
Two great
track.
weapons. And it is Rash right up the middle. He's got a first down, and he's going to score. Ethan Rash from 33 yards out, straight as the crow flies. And I know you do a good job of mentioning it. I don't do it as much as I should, but you got to give kudos to that Fulton line to open that hole.
Yes, the line did a great job. They busted open the hole, and the rest was just Rash, thinking, I just want to get 2 or 3, but I'll take whatever I can get.
So Indy Kanaj, who has really been impressive here tonight, looking to convert the PAT. It's on the way, and it is perfect once again. So he has made 4 extra points, 4 for 4 plus a field goal.
Right, which, again, in high school football, field goals are few and far between, so.
And you know the thing about it too, Dave, I don't know if you got the same feeling. I didn't sense that he was the least bit nervous when he kicked that field goal. He was very calm and composed. Well, you know, people make fun of kickers. You hear it all the time. A kicker is a key position on a football team. And oftentimes in a close game, just like free throws in a basketball game, they're what make the difference.
Yep. Because right now, you know, it's such a big thing. There's 11 guys out there dressed in white right now that know exactly where the ball is supposed to go, and they don't. And if he can put the ball where those guys think it's going to go, it's a huge advantage to the defense.
Tigers down 17 with 6:34 to go in the third period. And Kanaj boots it deep.
I will say that surprises me.
Here's the return. It's Cale Davis. And a nice return by Cale out to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, nice, great return. Probably about 22, 23-yard return.
I'll ask you, Dave, do you think the Tigers, that they pretty much have to open it up here?
I think they need to open it up. I think Tyler Gibson needs to hit the Stearns kid or the 2 Davis boys. Somebody needs to make a big catch here.
Because to be fair, like you say, they've scouted Rondé pretty well, and Rondé's had a good night, but he hasn't been able to, break away for that 60-yard run. He has the ball now, and he does break 1 tackle, breaks 2. That's the Rondé we know. And he gets a first down, about 12 or 13 yards on the carry.
Yeah, that was a great run to the right side, and again, the offensive line did a nice job opening up some holes for him there.
So a big run for Rondé Worrells. Certainly plenty of time, no question about that, but the Tigers would certainly like to score on this drive. 1st and 10 at their own 40. Tyler Gibson in the shotgun. He's back to throw. He's under heavy pressure. gets away, fires,
Oh,
and
wide
has a man
open.
wide
Oh,
open.
geez.
And this is going to result in a touchdown.
I'm looking for flags. There aren't any.
Tegan Davis. 60-yard touchdown reception. And Coach Lohr is going to be talking to somebody.
Yeah. Just a great job. And, you know, he's sitting there all by himself. I'd just love to know what was going through his mind. Like, wait a minute, I have to make sure I catch
Oh,
this.
absolutely. So Tigers feeling a little better about things now. And a penalty is called against Fulton. Will that change the Tigers' decision here? They are down 11. Certainly have one of the top kickers in the state in Jamie Reinhardt, so it's not going to change their decision. They'll still kick the point. And Jamie's kick, as you might suspect, right on the money. Gets the Tigers to within 10 at 31-21.
Yeah, that was just really, really blown coverage there because there wasn't anybody within 25 yards of Tegan. But, you know, we were kind of talking the last play when Rondé had that nice run of 12 or 13 yards. It would be hard as a football coach if you've played all these games up till now and had all that success with him running to go, we're not going to do that now.
Sure.
I mean, it has got to be tough to change that whole mindset. And I'm thinking, I don't know if, you know, if a coach, it'd be awful tough to do that. I mean, I get it. You want to score quick, but to not give it to that kid to run is like,
Right. Yeah,
you're just not going to give up on that.
And certainly that run by Rondé set the tone. And then, of course, Tegan Davis. That had to be just
I
a...
say Keegan.
Oh, that's okay. Tegan Davis. Wide open. That has to, you know, that's like when you're trying to make a layup and there's nobody within 30 feet of you. Sometimes that can be a weird feeling, but he did everything he needed to do. And Jamie Reinhardt will be set to kick off. Boy, it'd be hard-pressed to find a high school football game with two better kickers. These guys are both terrific. No secrets here. Jamie kicks it deep. And the Steamers fumble it, get it back, and it's just going to be a short return out to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, got about a 5-yard return out of that, but that could have really turned bad for the Fulton Steamers.
Wow, couldn't it? If Princeton would have got that ball. Brock Mason on the return. To his credit, he was able to bounce back and get it.
5:47, third quarter, down by 10. Princeton has to turn up the defense right now. They have to turn it up. They have to get a stop right now.
Bessman and Rash in the backfield. And this time, check that. That is Pessman taking that carry, and he's not going to get much. Make it a loss even. Tegan Davis in on the tackle.
Yeah, Tegan and Kale were both there to meet him. And like I said, this is pretty much, you can't just keep exchanging scores. You're not getting anywhere there that way.
What will the Steamers dial up on 2nd and 12? A double reverse and a pass.
Oh, boy.
And Jones fires. And it is, oh my goodness, tipped by Cale Davis and then dropped by Brock Mason. That play had plenty of drama.
And we have a flag on the play also.
So
we'll see who the flag's on. Could it be pass interference?
it's more on the Princeton side. Maybe an ineligible man downfield, all sorts of possibilities. And it is going to go against the Steamers. Holding
holding
Well,
against the Tigers.
they're marching the ball backwards, and then they point against Princeton, so a little bit of confusion with the officials. And I believe that this will be an automatic first down. Well, they have the yardage anyway.
Right.
So 1st and 10 for the Steamers.
At the 38-yard line, 1st and 10, Steamers.
And now the referees are going to talk it over some more. And Fulton says, wait a minute, we've got a first down. We're ready to go. Now they march the ball backwards.
So it's just a 10-yard penalty for holding.
Well, whatever the officials say, that's what we're going to go with.
Yep. And, you know, that was interesting. That was an interesting play call by Pat Lowers. Well, it could have worked big time.
Yeah, that's what we talked about at the beginning, that he'll come up with plays like that. 2nd down and 3 at the 33.
Oh,
Give
nice
it to their
job.
money, Ethan Resch, and the Tigers able to stop him cold.
So that was number 60, who's 66 on our program, Alex May.
So 3rd down and 3.
I'm going to guess there's going to be a little pass out on the flat or something maybe. I don't know. Like you say, you could give it to Rash again.
And now a penalty is called before the ball is snapped, and it's against Princeton, probably offsides, and it'll be first down by Charity. And the Fulton sideline is excited.
With every right to be, unfortunately, Princeton just shot themselves in the foot.
First and 10 for Fulton at their own 38-yard line.
1st and 10, Steamers.
Clock stopped with the resetting of the chains. 4:58 to go, 3rd period. 31-21, Fulton. Barnett awaits the shotgun snap. He has it. Has time. Looks to throw, and now he's just going to have to tuck and run, and winds up getting a short gain on the play.
I think that was Grant Foes.
Number 50, Pierce Miller.
No, 50, Pierce Miller.
Who leads the team in sacks. Just a yard or two gain on that play. And it stops the clock with 4:50 to go in the 3rd period.
That was a great job by Pierce Miller to get after him.
He's an outstanding defensive lineman. Second down and 9 for the Steamers at their own 40. Barnett goes under center. Looks to throw, fires, and the pass is caught. This will be good for a first down.
I guess that was Mason over there.
Pass is complete. Number 34,
Nope, 34, Pessman.
So Pessman hasn't had many touches, but that was a big one there to come up with that first down. Near midfield, the ball is at the 49 of Fulton. And a good throw there by Barnett.
That was just like a little post route on the sideline, and nice job. The ball was there in no time at all.
1st and 10 Steamers. This time Barnett operates out of the shotgun. Throws, and the pass is complete. And it should be good for a first down. Hauling that one in once again is Brock Mason, who is only a junior, but a great player. 6-footer, 185.
He's had some big catches tonight, just to start the game off. I think that first catch that he had, probably boosted his confidence, through the roof of, I can outrun these guys and I can catch the ball. Mason
gets a few fist bumps on the sideline. First and 10 Steamers at the Tiger 38.
Here comes your rash, I'm afraid.
Nope. Go to Van Kampen. Nice game. First down for the Steamers, about 3. Second down and 7.
Rondé Worrell's on the tackle there.
And that's one of the things about Rondé. Of course, his offensive exploits are well known, but he leads the team in tackles as well. Second down and 7 for the Steamers at the Tiger 35. 3:40 to go, third quarter. Pessman and Rash in the backfield. And Barnett's going to go back to throw. He has a man open, and the pass is complete. Close to a first down. Pessman on the catch. So Pessman it was Van Kampen that was in the backfield with Rash, and they're going to give him a first down. It was really close, but first down Steamers. 3:21 to go, third period. Steamer lead is 31-21.
Coach Lowers is just doing a nice job of mixing it up.
Yeah, and Dave, what do you think about this quarterback, Connor Barnett, the senior for Fulton?
I'll tell you, he's just doing a nice job of his receivers are running great routes. They're not giving up on their routes, and he's putting the ball right in their hands. He's trusting that they're going to be there, and he's throwing it.
Yep. First and 10 at the Tiger 28. Barnett this time under heavy pressure. Throws, and he has a man. Not a huge gain by any means, but they get something out of it.
Flag on the play. Kind of curious what that's going to be about. Might have been I don't want to say like a block on Fulton. But it was on Fulton, but I think maybe it was just holding.
Yep. And I believe that is indeed the case.
But it was right where the play was supposed to take place, and it looked like a Princeton Tiger hit the ground for no reason, so that must have been the hold.
It must have been the reason.
Yeah, that was the reason.
All right, first down at 20 for the Steamers, but the ball backed up to the 38-yard line. Both these teams, Princeton and Fulton, have been able to overcome long yardage to go tonight. Barnett back to throw, fires, and it's intercepted. It is intercepted. Bennett Sirens, I think there must have been some confusion there. Maybe somebody kept running when he thought it was going to be a down and in, because it was right to Sirens, an easy pick. That'll be first down Princeton at their 35.
Well, I think it was intended for Jones, and he went left instead of right there.
Okay.
But I will tell you that Jones, in his defense, when he went on defense, he made a great tackle right there, because if he didn't, he was going to the house.
Yep. So let's see if the Tigers can take advantage of the Steamer turnover. First and 10 at the 35 for Princeton. Tyler Gibson has Rondé Worrells to his immediate right, and Tyler's back to throw. Now he's going to take off and run, and he's got good yardage. He's got a first down out near midfield.
That was just a great look, great deception. I can pass it if I want to. Oh no, great hole. I'm just going to run now.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Tyler Gibson. 2:06 to go in the third period. The Fulton lead is 10 at 31-21. Tigers on the march. Gibson back to throw. It's a screen. It's complete to Bennett Sirens. A nice move. And Sirens still on his feet, has a first down and more. Gets inside the 35-yard line.
Nice look by Sirens. He saw to the right that it was wide open in front of him. The play is designed to go straight forward, but geez, Pete's all he had to do was cut it to the outside, and he was gone.
Coach Lower not too happy. He's not used to seeing his linebackers not be able to contain a play like that. Gibson back to throw once again. He's under heavy pressure, gets it away, and throws, and he has a man at the goal line. That is Cale Davis. Cale Davis with the 33-yard touchdown reception with 1:40 to go in the third period. Wow, what a drive by the Tigers. Jamie Reinhardt on for the PAT. His kick is good. So the only difference in this one at 31-28 was the field goal by Indy Canage with 0.2 of a second to go before halftime. But the Tigers have definitely seen a momentum swing in their favor.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice sequence of plays there for the Tigers. Especially, I still would say, you know, that was the touchdown. But Gibson doing what he can do, or he, you know, backs up the pass, but actually runs, that opens all that up because now you got to worry about everything. Yep. I think that was a huge play in that sequence right there of downs. I just think that made it all happen. And then also a great pass by Gibson.
Oh yeah, just well executed drive by the Tigers, and as you said, in particular, Tyler Gibson making all the right choices.
So now it'll be kind of interesting, and I'm sure Coach Lowers isn't going to change much, but you know, all that came from that interception.
Yep.
So the world of football is, you know, if you're up by 10 or 14, you just run it. You run it, you keep control of it.
Jamie Reinhardt set to kick off.
I would imagine coming in this game, you can't think like that against the Tigers, knowing their scoring potential.
And Jamie's going to kick it deep. And the Steamers are on the return. Is that Pessman? No, it's Brock Mason with an excellent return. Thought for a moment he might go all the way, but he does get it out close to midfield.
Brock Mason is having probably the game of his life right now.
And bear in mind, only a junior.
He was basically one tackle away from running to the house there.
These two teams are putting on a great show here tonight. Needless to say, it's not over yet. Connor Barnett under center. And it's a reverse to Jones. Some nice moves. And he'll be close to a first down. Jacob Jones, 6'1", 170, and a junior.
He does. Again, just one of those names that I wrote down that, you know, at the beginning of this game, I didn't really know that much about him, and he was also the kid that made the tackle, unfortunately, after the interception.
Clock will dip under 1 minute to go here in the third period. Barnett awaits the snap. And this is Jones once again, and Jones able to get the first down and a little bit more, gets inside the 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Steamers as Danny Sihot in on the tackle.
First and 10, Steamers.
Clock ticking down, 35 seconds to go. So perhaps the last play of the quarter, particularly if the Steamers keep it on the ground. Steamers up by 3. Barnett to throw, he's under heavy pressure, lets it go, and there's nobody to throw it to. Made the wise decision to throw it out of bounds.
Right, great coverage on that play by Davis. Both the Davis boys were back there.
And boy, that is a tough duo to beat. That is for sure. Definitely a wise decision by Connor Barnett. He's 6'3", 180-pound senior quarterback.
But it still just surprises me that I would have ran the ball there as a coach, and I'd have went to the fourth quarter.
So we'll see what the Steamers dial up on 2nd and 10. Now they're going to throw again. They have a man open, and it is it a touchdown? Or did he go out of bounds? He went out of bounds, but inside the 5-yard line. Pestman with the catch.
Pestman again, yeah.
You never know where he's going to be. Sometimes he lines up at running back, sometimes at wide receiver. That time it was wide receiver, and it worked out wonderfully for the Steamers. Clock stopped with 11 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Well, I guess that's why I don't coach football, because they have an opportunity to score one more time here in the third quarter.
You would think maybe Ethan Rash here. We'll see. It is Rash, and did not get into the end zone, and very little gain, but that'll run out the quarter, and that'll do it for 3 quarters of football. Our score is Fulton 31 and Princeton 28, with the Steamers knocking on touchdown's door.
Pretty interesting third quarter. I mean, that was a lot of good scores in there.
Yeah, as far as our score at halftime was 24-14 in favor of Fulton. Then Ethan Rash with the 34-yard touchdown run. Indy Kanash with the kick made it 31-14. Looked like the Steamers might run away and hide, but the Tigers countered with 2 touchdowns. Tegan Davis with a 60-yard pass from Tyler Gibson. Jamie Reinhart with the kick. And then it was Cale Davis, a 33-yard pass from Gibson, and Jamie with the kick once again. That's where we stand, 31-28, but a long pass from Barnett to Pestman has the Steamers knocking on touchdown's door as we begin the fourth period.
So pretty much Gibson's got about a little over 170 yards passing tonight.
He has looked really good. Just a great game here at Bryant Field. Tigers desperately need a stop here. Second and goal at the 2 as the Steamers are at the scoreboard into the field. Rash up the middle, very close to a touchdown, no signal, and now we get it.
Yeah.
We get a touchdown call. Just like you said, Dave, Ethan Rash, he just refuses to go down.
And he had a great push from his line from behind for the score.
So that's his second touchdown of the night. This time a 2-yard run. Puts the Steamers up 37-28 pending the extra point kick. Indy Canage on for the PAT. It hits the upright.
Still went in.
And still bounced in. How about that?
So we're back to a 10-point game here.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Yep. And again, this surprises me now with Fulton kicking deep and giving either Sirens or Davis a chance to run it back to the house, because you know they're dangerous.
On the other hand, though, I mean, they've got some outstanding athletes of their own that certainly have some good speed and are able to track people down.
And maybe they just don't, giving up the field position
right
doesn't play into their favor either.
Indy Canage back to work.
So we got Mendota coming in and take Fulton's place next year in the track.
That basically, you got the old NCIC back in play. Kind of a circuitous way to get there, but that's what it amounts to. Indy Canage ready to kick away. Kind of a weird spin on this ball, but it's fielded by Tegan Davis, and he gets it out to the 41-yard line on a good return.
Yeah, Tegan Davis, that was a great return, probably 30, 35 yards maybe.
Clayton Howard in on that tackle for the Steamers. Actually mark it right at the 40. Tigers really opened it up on that last drive. As Dave mentioned, a nice run by Tyler Gibson. And then they were able to prosper throwing the long pass. You look for more of the same here, Dave?
Yeah, I think with 11:49, I think they'd like to score quick.
And now we have a penalty flag before the ball is even
For
snapped.
delay.
Wow. Costly mistake.
Yeah, delay a game on the Tigers. I was actually watching Pat Lowers Jr. flashing out signals to his defensive backs on the other side of the field. And then I saw the flag fly up in the air from the back judge. So
first and 15 for the Tigers. And a nice run here.
And
the
that's
flag
gonna
comes in. Logan Clancy on the carry.
I don't know if that's going to be a face mask or if that's just going to be hitting them out
the
of
Steamers, yeah.
a late hit out of bounds. Yep, unsportsmanlike. Face mask.
Face mask.
So that's going to move them from 140 to another, maybe?
Great call, Dave. Exactly right.
So there you go.
So the delay game penalty that really didn't affect Princeton much at all.
No,
As the Steamers
it was
more than
35.
Favor, yeah. First and 10 at the 40. Gibson on the run, tries to get to the outside. Still on his feet, but winds up being just a short loss. Could have wound up being about a 5 or 6 yard loss. Instead, it's about a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, he did a nice job of breaking that first tackle because, like you said, it would have been 5-6 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
No huddle for the Tigers. Second down and 11. This time it's Rondé Worrells. And Rondé's breaking tackles. Look at him go. One man to beat. The Steamers eventually do catch up, but not before Rondé gets close to the 10-yard line.
That was a great run by him, and he never stopped turning the legs, and there was 3 Fulton players that weren't happy with themselves on that tackling job.
First and 10 for the Tigers. Gibson calls his own number, and a great tackle in the backfield by the Steamers.
Cole Shipper again, yeah,
Wow.
just tripped him up. Otherwise, that could have been a quick score.
Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Clock nearing the 10-minute mark to go in the game. Princeton down by 10, but in the red zone. Gibson passes, it's complete, and getting in for the touchdown.
Is that Augie?
Augie Christensen, yes indeed. So a 10-yard touchdown pass with 10:25 to go in the game. Augie Christensen from Tyler Gibson. Jamie Reinhardt on for the PAT. 38-34 currently. Make it 38-35 in favor of Fulton. The Tigers have closed to within 3 once again.
Again, just that field goal with 4 seconds to go in the first half separates these two. It's interesting how this game started. Like you said, it was like a clinic. It was like just punch, everything was just working great for both, kind of not both teams, but it ended up being that way with a 14-14 tie at one point. There's just been a lot of offense and this game tonight.
And two teams that came into the action allowing their opponents an average of less than 10 points per game. So go figure. That's what makes sports so wonderful.
It's still 10 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Two teams both ranked third in the state in their respective classes. Princeton in 3A, Fulton in 2A. Well, we know Jamie Reinhardt capable of the short kick or the long kick. What will it be here? And it is the onside kick. It's loose. Who's going to get it? Looks like the Tigers did. And it is Princeton coming up with it. Let's see who's at the bottom of that pile.
'23,
Carson Etheridge.
Carson Etheridge.
Wow. So the Steamers.
That ball went right between two of the Steamers and nobody went after it.
Yep. And now
we have a
flag. Is this going to be another delay?
No.
Oh,
a sideline warning. Which is basically a
and the initial warning, there is no penalty.
no. And I guarantee you Pat Lowers isn't happy about that, but it's just the emotions of football.
Now it's Rondé Whirls, and oh boy, look at him go. Still on his feet. Down inside the 20-yard line. So about a 25-yard scamper on that one.
Yeah.
And Rondé has really turned it on.
Yeah, I think you're getting to see Fulton's seeing what they thought they were going to see earlier.
1st and 10, Princeton at the Fulton 20. Gibson to throw. It's to Augie Christensen. It scored a touchdown earlier. It won't this time. The Steamers are onto it.
Well, we're going to have a flag on Fulton now.
Will Connor on the tackle.
It's actually going to be downfield. It wasn't on the actual tackle. It's going to be either, it could go either way. We'll find out who they're going to call it on. And they just threw I think they just threw a player out.
And is it Pessman? I believe it is. It is Tyler Pessman, who is one of the best players on the Fulton squad.
Him and, I don't know if it was which Davis boy it was, but I think it was one of them that he decided to just body slam him to the ground after the play. I saw it because it just happened to be in my line of vision.
Okay, well, thank you, Dave. And obviously it had to be something pretty dramatic for the referee to throw him out. First and goal for the Tigers. This is Gibson calling his own number, doesn't get in. Shipper on the tackle for Fulton, 2nd down and goal from the 5.
Yeah, that's huge for the Tigers to have him out of the game. He's had some great catches, touchdowns, and
now Augie Christensen hit in the backfield by Ethan Rash. And boy, I don't know how this is going to work out, Dave, but give the Steamers a lot of credit. You lose arguably your best player, and they have just responded with 2 big plays.
Exactly. Rash is like, I'm still out here.
That's right. Clock ticking, 9:20 to go in the game.
Field goal opportunity if need to be.
Oh, absolutely. Jamie's very capable. And the Tigers
Don't
give it
think
to
you have to-
Rondé Worrells. And is he in? We're awaiting a signal. Apparently tackled just short of the goal line.
Big call here, 4th down, right?
4th and goal from the 1. Gibson under center. Will he just take it himself? He tries. Does he get in? He does. Tyler Gibson on the sneak with 8:48 to go. A 1-yard run for Tyler Gibson, and that puts the Tigers ahead 41-38, pending the PAT. Looked like the Steamers had him stopped originally, but Tyler just kept those legs churning and got in.
Yeah, great second effort.
Jamie Reinhardt for the PAT. And it is good. 42-38 Princeton.
8:48 to go.
So, Dave, we had 2 teams that average giving up less than 10 points a game, and we've still got almost 9 minutes to go in the game, and 80 points have been put on the board tonight.
Well, they're both still probably a little under what they've scored each week, but yeah, the 10-point score on the defense side, that left a long time ago. I would really like to see that play, you know, how that all unfolded with Pestman getting ejected from the game. Like I said, I saw them going at it, and I saw that he looked like he was the aggressor and kind of just throw him to the ground, but.
All right. 42-38 Princeton. Jamie Reinhardt to kick off. Last time it was an onside kick. Does he dare try it again? No. Kicks it deep. And it's going to be a touchback, or did it go out of bounds before the...
Out of bounds.
All right.
Coach Lowers, I believe, is going to push him back. Make him kick it again.
That would have been something if that would have went just beyond the goal line and went out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going to make him kick it again. I'm watching Coach Lowers, and he's basically signaling push him back.
So Jamie will kick from NFL distance here from the 35. 8:48 to go. Princeton leading 42-38. Fulton returnmen inch up to about the 15-yard line. Good kick.
Great kick.
All the way back inside the 10. Here comes the return, and not much. Not much for the Steamers.
Cale Davis just stopped him dead in his tracks when he got to him, so great job there by Cale. Well, what are you going to do now? You can't really change away from what you're doing. You're going to throw, run, throw, run, throw, run, maybe throw. I mean, they've still got some good receivers. They still have Jones, but
Brock Mason has been tremendous.
yeah. The last 3 or 4 passes have gone to Pestman, though.
Trips to the right for the Steamers. Last time they threw to the other side when they did that. Now Barnett, under heavy pressure, throws, and it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Flag on the play. Came in from way over here. I'm kind of curious to see what this is going to be. Maybe a lineman downfield. It's against Fulton. Yeah, lineman downfield. It almost had to be because it was our side judge, and the play went the other way. So what else could he have?
So It's a 5-yard walk-off against the Steamers. A little confused on the down. Chain Gang says it's first down at 15.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Barnett back to throw. He's got a man wide open.
It's Mason.
Mason with the catch. Still short of the first down, but a well-executed play.
We have a Fulton player down.
Now he's back up. Let's see. That's the quarterback, Connor Barnett. Well, the backup quarterback is the coach's son, but Barnett is still staying out there.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to him, but he wasn't happy with somebody on the other side.
2nd and 5 at the 25 for Fulton. Princeton leading 42-38. Huge drive for the Steamers, and now a flag before the play even starts.
This gentleman on our side's been really busy tonight.
Yes, he has.
I mean, he's definitely putting in the miles. Legal substitution, loss of down.
Wow. Oh, this is a huge penalty.
Yeah,
Coach Pearson out there talking to the official as well. Certainly he has to like this turn of events.
yeah, I'm kind of curious what his thought process is. Maybe he just wanted an explanation, or
second down and 18 for the Steamers. Under center. The Steamers just going to keep it on the ground.
I think that was rash, probably.
I believe so. Not a whole lot there. Rash on the carry.
Yeah. 8 minutes basically left in the game here. This it's been a phenomenal game to watch, so.
Tigers, who at one point looked like they could be put way behind, have a chance to maybe make a stop and put Fulton in a lot of trouble. It's a screen to Rash, and it is stopped immediately. And the Steamers almost assuredly will have to punt it away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he actually caught the ball. I didn't think he did. So he would have lost yardage if he did. But,
well, the clock's running, so they must have gave him a catch. But it doesn't, like you say, it really doesn't matter. He didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I think
now they stopped the clock.
Well, the back judge is like, the clock was supposed to be stopped.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, now it's running again. So, at any rate, 7:20, 4th and 14. Punts away. It's a short punt. Very short. And the Tigers will just let it roll dead at the 37-yard line. And Princeton with a chance for the knockout punch here with 7:12 to go in the game.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be time for Princeton to shine.
And Rondé here.
Rondé should
be. There's been no stopping it.
Rondé should be getting the ball pretty much every touch here, and just letting him do what he does.
1st and 10, Princeton. Rondé right next to Tyler Gibson. And it's actually Tyler Gibson on the keeper, and he gets great yardage on first down, close to a first down.
So Pat Lowers just called timeout, and I got to tell you, I think that's a great timeout. I think he needed to go out there and talk to his kids and tell them, look at the scoreboard.
You're still in this game.
Let's not let this be, how this ends. Let's stop them right here. Maybe they do get a first down. Maybe that's it.
Trying to break up that momentum a little bit, which is in all Princeton here of late. And the Steamers had one of their best players, some would say is their best, Kyler Pessman, ejected from the game moments ago.
I just remember a coach from over our way that when a team started to get some momentum, it might have been in the first drive of the game, he would go out and call that timeout. And he would tell them no more. This ends right now.
Second down and short. And it's a reverse, and that's Logan Glancy who's got the first down and more.
He's at the top of my list on that Princeton side for guys that have made a lot of, difference in this game tonight.
Clock stopped with 6:55 to go in the game. First and 10 Tigers at the Fulton 25. Tyler Gibson's going to call his own number, tries to get around the edge. He does. Out of bounds at around the 20-yard line.
And I would say the only thing that I would say is Coach Pearson on the other side might be saying, guys, just slide. Don't go out of bounds. Just slide down where you're at so we can keep that clock running.
Yeah.
Because the last two plays didn't need to go out of bounds, and the clock would be down to maybe 4.5, 5 right now. So.
Second down and 4 for the Tigers at the 19 of Fulton. Rondé Worrells on the carry. This time they bottle him up. Short gain for Rondé. Very little though. Scoreboard shows third down and 4.
I'll tell you, I like that fake to Rondé and having Gibson keep it. I do.
All right, well, we'll see if maybe that's what they call here. Clock nearing the 6-minute mark. Gibson looks to throw. He fires. He has his man. And the play goes down to near the 5-yard line as hauling that one in. Is that Nolan Scott on that catch? I believe so. Both these teams with just so many weapons. You can't key on any one guy. And these two coaches do a good job of mixing the plays up.
Oh, definitely.
First and goal at the 7 for the Tigers.
Like I say, I think, I'll wait till after this play.
And now a penalty flag. We've seen several of those tonight before the ball is snapped.
Illegal shift, probably, or a procedure, one or the other.
It's going against Princeton.
Yeah. What's interesting is a bunch of things that weren't working for Princeton. They didn't go away from it. They just kept trying to hit it, and then things started to click.
Yeah, excellent point. Very well said. The Tigers with a run to the left side, and it's a good gain on first down. Rondé Worrells.
Yeah, real nice job. Ended up leaping one of the defenders.
And as you talked about earlier, Dave, this time the Tigers stay in bounds and the clock continues to run. It'll be under 5 minutes to go in the game on the next snap. Tiger lead is 4, but certainly the prospect of enlarging that lead looks to be a high probability here. Rondé whirls the deep back, Gibson under center.
Wait for the back judge.
And Rondé, and is he in? We wait for the signal. It is a touchdown. Rondé whirls with 4:31 to go from 5 yards out. And the Tigers go up 48-38.
That's his second score of the night, right? He had a 2-yarder too, didn't he?
Yes, exactly right. One in the first quarter and one in the fourth quarter. Is Jamie Reinhardt on for the PAT? Kick is up, right down the middle. Tiger lead, 49-38. So just 4:31 to go, and the Tiger lead is 11. You know, we mentioned at the beginning too, Dave, now Fulton does, for a school of under 300 kids, they have a lot of kids out for football, but it does seem like here in the second half that Princeton has worn them down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. You would expect that to happen. Their enrollment's 292, but I think that if you went down there and asked each and every one of them, being the Fulton Steamers, they'd all probably go out and play tomorrow.
Oh, without a doubt. And I know Hall, their situation in their football program, a lot of the guys, they pretty much played every play, offense, defense, special teams. There's just not a whole lot of subs to put in. Here comes the kickoff by the Tigers, and the Steamers fielded inside the 10-yard line. Not a whole lot there. And oh my goodness, what a hit. That's Nolan Scott.
Nolan Scott, number 16, just introduced himself.
He had a big reception on the last drive, and now a big tackle. Nolan Scott, 6'4", 170, and a senior.
It was a nice hit by that young man.
Kind of a bizarre return by the Steamers, but at any rate, they have it 1st and 10 at their 22-yard line. Barnett to throw, and it's over the head of Brock Mason.
Yeah, just maybe 5 yards too far, but we've seen that play at least 4 or 5 times tonight.
There's a chance the Steamers don't pick up a first down here, and the Tigers punch it again, and people look at in the paper and think, well, that really wasn't that much of a game. But it has been a dandy.
Yes, it definitely has, and in the first and second quarter, you thought it might end up the other way.
Now Rash on the carry. Look at him go out near a first down. There was a late hit there, no penalty flag.
Timeout Fulton. Pat Loris takes a timeout. 4:12 to go in the fourth quarter.
And they'll be down to 1 left, I do believe. Yep.
There's a lot of coaches, they're leaving our conference, but there's a lot of coaches that will be happy that Rash will be with them next year.
Of course, you mentioned it, Dave. I've got that on that card, but while we've got a moment, if you could dig up those cards on the Fulton Steamers, who's in that conference, the Northwest Upstate Illini Conference?
So Amboy's in it, Freeport, Freeport-Ackland,
yep.
Right. Ashland Franklin Center, Dakota, Durand, Lanark Eastland, Forreston, Galena Winslow, Milledgeville, Orangeville, Pecatonica, Polo, River Ridge, Scales Mound, Stockton, Warren, and West Carolina. There's 5 state champions in the last 10 years that we just read off. Maybe
sure.
even more than that. Yeah. Lena Winslow the last 2 years, right? Well, not counting last year. But
all right. Barnett, under heavy pressure, lets it go, and once again, over the head of Mason. But there was nothing there, so you can't blame him for that. Yeah, that is that's a conference that you just read that you turn your TV on the day after Thanksgiving, and one of those teams is probably going to be playing for a 1A or 2A state championship.
Yeah, you heard Dakota's name numerous times. Forreston, I mean, they're
always good.
Football powerhouse. Lena Winslow, the last 2 out of 3 years. Polo.
Stockton's had their success.
Yeah, Stockton.
All right. Once again, Barnett to throw. It's a screen to Rash. That's been a good play for Fulton tonight, but not this time. And that's Pierce Miller.
Yeah, Pierce Miller with another catch from behind, too. That young man has some very good speed.
And when he gets a hold of somebody, they don't get away.
They're gonna. Officials are talking to him. You know what? And
that's good officiating.
Yes, I appreciate that because you've got 2 very good football teams that have had a very, pretty tough night each side. They've both been knocked around a little bit, so it's not been one-sided here.
And it looked like they were momentarily Pierce Miller and Cole Shipper kind of, fist bump. Hey, I get it. You're competing hard. I'm competing hard. 3rd down and 13. This time the pass is complete by Barnett, hauled in by Ryan Snyder, 5'11".
Yeah, basically.
175-pounder.
Ryan Snyder just took the place of Kyler Pessman. That was that route that he's been running, the whole game. So they're definitely going to have to do it again right now.
4th and 6 for the Steamers at their own 37-yard line. Tigers rush 3, so Barnett has time, and the throw over the middle. Did Mason come up with that?
Yeah.
That is a fantastic catch. He's made a couple of them tonight. Yeah. That was incredible.
Connor Barnett is having a whale of a game tonight, the quarterback for the Steamers, a senior.
But that one, all the credit to Brock Mason. Oh, Steamers with 2-minute motion. Referees apparently didn't see it. And Barnett back to throw. Now we have a stoppage in play. And everybody's a little perplexed. Illegal procedure against the Steamers.
They're just going to call a little bit later. And there's a guy, that's standing down there right now talking to his quarterback that I guarantee you he has not decided this game is over.
Nope. Clock ticking near the 2-minute mark. Tiger lead is 11 and Fulton is at midfield. Barnett under heavy pressure. It's a screen. That's completed to Mason once again. Gets about 7 yards on that play. Clock will continue to run.
There's another name, Augie Christensen. Wow, he's having a whale of a game tonight, too.
And that's night after night. Good football player.
15-yard TD pass from Gibson.
Barnett back to throw once again. Fires over the middle, and the pass is complete. That's Jones, and Jones may get away here. Jones is inside the 20 to the 10. Finally brought down. Rondé Worrell's in on the tackle.
I would have loved to watch that play. If one other thing would have happened, I'd love to watch it on replay because I think that was almost going to be the hook and ladder. I think he wanted to pass or give it to the other. Yeah.
Okay.
He looked right at him, and I thought for sure he was going to do it.
1st and goal at the 10. Barnett back to throw once again. He has a lot of time and lobs it. And over the head of Rash and over the head of Cy Hockey of Princeton to bring up second down and 10.
That was just a great job by Marnetta, seeing that he had nothing to gain there, so on a sold over both their heads.
The Tigers, at least on some of these plays, Dave, they've been coming with a three-man rush. Just
right.
Concentrating on coverage. Of course, when you have the likes of Alex May and Pierce Miller and Grant Foes, three guys is still a lot to rush. They can do a lot of damage.
Timeout somebody.
If that's Fulton's, that's their last.
I believe it's Princeton. They hadn't taken a timeout yet this half, had they?
Okay.
So Princeton took the timeout. 1:16 to go here. Fulton 10 yards out from the score. You know what's interesting is they lost Pessman, and their last possession, they couldn't make anything happen. And now this possession, it's like they've must have rethought it all. Like, we can still do this, and we can still move the ball, and I still have receivers in Mason and number 12, right? Schneider?
Yep, Jones.
And Jones, right.
No, I totally agree with you. They certainly, they have not given up whatsoever. Second down and 10 for the Steamers from the 11. Mason goes in motion. Barnett rolls to his right. Looks to throw to the end zone. It's incomplete. Good coverage by the Tigers. I believe that was Cale Davis providing that coverage.
Yeah, just great coverage back there. And now, you know, and this is, they can't really run too much more time off without putting one in the end zone here.
Third down and 10 at the 11.
So if you don't put this one in, you kick the field goal, then you're down by 10, right? Or nope,
Actually
down by 11.
But it would be a one-score game, you know,
yeah.
a touchdown and a two-pointer. Barnett fires, and the pass
Intercepted.
is intercepted. Logan Glatzy, that man. He has had a tremendous game. You've talked about him all night, Dave, and comes through once again.
Yep.
Tough situation for Barnett. As you mentioned, Tigers rushing three, had everybody playing center field, and that makes it tough.
So you definitely, hats off to both teams here.
Exactly
wow, what
right.
a battle.
Exactly right. Fulton with just one timeout left.
Right. If it were, which, you know, Pat Lowers, and, you know, he's going to be a class act here. I would say he's going to call a timeout and have his seniors come off. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be interesting because they're just going to kneel.
And Dave's exactly right. Tigers take a knee.
It'd be interesting to see.
Down by 11. I don't know. I think the Steamers are going to let this clock run.
Oh, they're going to let it run, but I just thought maybe he might pull the seniors off. You never know. But it's more of that what I'm used to in basketball.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
and he's not in front of his home crowd.
And in basketball, I think you would see it. And that should do it, I do believe, as long as the referee takes his time setting the ball.
Yeah, Pat's walking across to see Ryan. I'll tell you what, there's some good sportsmanship going on out there right now.
That's good to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because both these teams played so hard and did such a great job out there.
Yeah, Pierce Miller right now is impressing me to death right now. I don't know who they're actually talking to, but if it's the quarterback or if it's Rash, but we'll see.
Tyler Gibson talking to Keegan Van Kampen just a moment ago. And now the teams line up here and congratulate one another on a great ball game as well they should.
Yeah, what a great game.
49-38. Well, we could recap for about a half hour, but
wow.
Let's get the touchdowns. Who got touchdowns here? We won't. For the Steamers, Barnett to Jones, an 8-yard touchdown pass. Pessman, 11-yard run. Then it was Rondé with a 2-yard run. Tyler Gibson with a 15-yard run. At that time, we're tied up 14 all. Pessman with a 35-yard run, or excuse me, a pass from Barnett put Fulton up 21-14. Andy Canage with that field goal at the end of the first half made it 24-14 Fulton. Do a little math here, Dave. 24-14 Fulton at halftime. Tigers wind up winning 49-38. So in the second half,
scored 25.
35-14 advantage for Princeton. But right down the line, Rash with a touchdown for Fulton, and Tegan Davis a 60-yard touchdown reception. Cale Davis a 33-yard touchdown reception. Rash with another touchdown for the Steamers, and that would be it for Fulton. With 11:54 to go in the game, Fulton was up 38-28. Augie Christensen with a touchdown pass from Gibson made it 38-35. Tyler on a quarterback sneak made it 42-38. And fittingly enough, Rondé closed out the scoring with a 5-yard touchdown run. Both kickers, Indy Canage and Jamie Reinhardt, perfect on the night, including a field goal for Canage.
Yeah, just great job. Great job all the way around on all the skill players, and then the lines were both phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Also. That's who they're going to give all the credit to is, the good running backs always credit their line, and both lines did a phenomenal job.
We could talk about it for a long time, but Dave, of course, we worked together for many years on Bureau Valley broadcast. It was really nice working with you again.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the phone call. It was exciting. I really haven't had a chance, obviously, to see Princeton play because of last year, and then before that I was always with Bureau Valley, and I'm looking forward to getting back over there, and hopefully, Matt Pistol does a great job for Bureau Valley, and he's just getting his program, going in the right direction, and hats off to him. We love him over there, and, Coach Pearson's got this group, you got what you want to see, right? You got the little Tigers out there that are excited about Princeton football, and, hopefully that's where it's got to be. Yeah, that's the way it's got to be.
Well, congratulations to the Tigers. They would have liked to have had a state tournament, so would have Fulton. And who knows, either one of them would have made a strong run for a championship. But 6-0 for Princeton, only one loss for Fulton. Congratulations to both teams.
Oh, definitely. And again, I couldn't tell you how many times, the 2 years that we were down there in 04-05, there were multiple teams from our conference, and it would have probably been the same way this year. There'd be multiple teams from our conference down at the state championship.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. For Dave Shepard, this is Norm Vandermoon. Thanks to Steve Morton and Steve Gray for all their great work. Our final score, once again, Princeton 49, Fulton 30.